closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen. I'm here with Shirley Rosario because she came down to play a little Omaha low winning in the green. How'd you do today?
Well, I played okay. I played good. I got knocked out really early.
Always what's happened. And hey, you know, my co-commentator, Dave Tuckman, is playing in the game. He's going to play in the game. I don't know for how long.
Right.
We actually, there's an Action Dimitri is going to be coming into the game. I think Dave might be kind of playing over him or something like that.
Right. Dimitri's in the tournament for now.
Yeah.
And he still has 2,000 in chips when I just checked.
If he gets busted out, I think he might come.
He's going to go take David.
We'll see.
Take mine.
But Dave's already stuck about $2,000 in the game. He had a one-outer on the river. So let's get to the table, and let's go around and introduce the table here. In seat number 1, we have Mo.
In seat number 2, we have Sean.
And there's Sean right there.
Okay, in seat 3, we have Gino.
That is Kunal.
Kunal.
Yep.
Okay. Corporation Mike. Seat 4.
Yep. There he is.
And our famous Tuckman, Dave Tuckman, seat 5.
There he is, Dave Tuckman.
Bert in seat 6. We have Ruben in seat 7. And Jonas in seat 8. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yep. Got Jonas in the game as well here. Riverboat King on 2+2.
And Alan in seat 9.
Well, Shirley, I know that you've been away from the show for maybe a couple months now.
Right.
Corporation Mike has really stepped up his game from where it used to be before.
That, yeah.
He bets his good hands now. And we're going to look at the first hand here of the night. Corporation Mike is betting out here with Queen 4. We didn't see what the action was, but he does not have the best hand. Now, Bert has top pair. He has Queen 9, and he makes the call here for $350. And Queen 9 is going to take it down there.
You got 8-9?
Bert is going to win. So we're playing 10-20 no limit. It's an unrestricted buy-in, $1,000 minimum buy-in. The brown chips are $10 chips. The white chips are $100 chips. If you see, I don't think we really use quarters in this game that much, those purples, but those are 25s. And if you see big chips, they're thousands. Big purple ones are 5,000s.
Right.
I don't know if we even have any of those.
We used to use quarter chips. What happened to that?
In the 10-20 game, did we use them? I don't know. Because it's 10-20.
Maybe, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we do in the 5-10, obviously, and such.
Right.
But unrestricted buy-in. Of course, you want to keep the show interactive. You can email us on liveatthebike.com. Follow a thread on 2plus2.com. Spelled out. Click on forums. Tournament poker, World Poker Tour, etc. Official Live the Bike thread for March 3rd. 10-20 no limit. Couple limpers here to start it off. Well, this is going to be fun to see Tuckman on the game. And I always like to see Jonas in the game. And I really enjoyed watching Mike the last month when he's really stepped it up here. Limped around 3 ways. It's a $60 pot. And it's going to get checked around. The turn here is an ace. Tuckman had Jack 7. He did not bet out on the flop. And the river here is a 3. But look at this, ace 4 here. I don't understand. We don't really have the cards up right there. We go. Ruben is going to bet. He didn't bet the turn, and now Tuckman's trying to figure out, can I call the river? But he can't beat an ace. He can't beat a 3. I guess you could say he can't really beat a real 7 either, and he's not going to get involved with it. And Ruben was the gentleman. Again, basically what happened was that Tuckman.
Right.
Here's the story.
I was standing out there.
Yeah, here's the story of how Dave was stuck, and this is a horrible beat. He had pocket kings. He was a little bit short stack. He had raised. He had 500 left, and the flop came ace 10 blank. Okay,
and
with
the
2
flop was
hearts.
800.
With 800s. He moved all in for 500.
Right.
And the guy called him with pocket eights.
Pocket ace.
The
flop
turn
was ace 10 4.
The turn was a heart, and it was a 3rd heart, and Tuckman
It
had
was
the
a 9. Right.
Tuckman had the king of hearts.
Right.
So the guy had 1 out because he did not have the 8 of hearts in his hand.
That's correct.
Unbelievable.
And then he catches
And he
that
caught the
8
offsuit 8.
on the river.
Incredible. Now we got a raise here by, it looks like Mo with ace jack offsuit. Mike calls for the queen 7. Ruben's in there with jack 9. Mo brought it in for 80. Now, Mike's got top pair here, and Mo's going to come out and bet 150. Now, the only thing, like I said, I like Mike's game, but he's almost really like kind of what Barry Woods was a few months ago, where he just cannot really lay down a hand that's top pair or two pair, regardless of kind of what the texture is. Mike makes the call here on the flop, turns an 8, and this one's going to go check. Mike actually checks the turn here, and the river's a 3. And you know what? Checking the turn, maybe controlling pot size also might
He's
try
not
to...
going to get paid off. They checked there on the river.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't put a little bet in there. He wasn't going to get paid from Mo, but...
Well, he's trying to, control the pot, and maybe he was trying to get induce a bluff there from Mo, who's aggressive.
Well, I mean, Mike was in position there on the river.
Yes, I know.
So we...
Button moves over here to seat number 6. And we actually have a new, kind of like a new chip count thing since you've been in here as well. We actually give the differences. It's automatic. It's like a calculator.
I think they did that the last time I came in. Remember, I guess commentated. It was about, when was that? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And we had that, but we didn't have the new graphics last time I was here. So that's kind of cool. The colors make it nice.
120.
Wow, this is interesting. Tuckman's going to raise here to 120 with pocket 8s, and Corporation Mike has limped in with ace-king, and I have a feeling that Corporation Mike, especially if Mo calls in between, is going to pull the limp re-raise here. He's got ace-king in seat 4.
Yeah, we have Alan there with ace-king.
Yeah, Alan's going to make the call in seat 9, and there's going to be enough dead money in here where I think seat 4 really might make a limp re-raise. Now, Mo's got a little king-queen offsuit. I'd be a little bit... Is he going to get involved? Well, he makes the call.
He makes the call.
And here it comes, Shirley. He's got a stack of whites in his hands. And he's going to raise it up here to 600. Again, Mike has ace-king here. There we go. Tuckman's got pocket 8s, and Mike has pulled the limp re-raise here to 600. Tuckman raised it up to 120. Now, Tuckman's only about...
David could see what we see.
Well, the thing here is, though, that he's only about... I'd say he's only got about 2,000. He can't really play this necessarily. Could he play it as just a smooth call if he thought he was behind and try to hit a set? He has nowhere near that amount of money.
I don't think he can do that. I think he needs to either muck here or rate and muck or move in.
Well, I mean, you might play it like he might call and then move in on the flop on a non-threatening flop as well. We'll see. He's trying to figure out what he's going to do here with 8s. There's a lot of dead money in there. And Mike usually does limp re-raise. And he is going to re-raise here, Dave. Surely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yep. But the thing here, the funny thing about Mike's hand, Tuckman's going to move all in. Mike is going to call.
Yes.
He's going to call in an instant. Now, the funny thing here is that Tuckman is in great shape. Look what else is up here.
Yeah, if he can see what we see. We see that Alan has one of the aces
is dead, and one of the kings is dead. Mo's hand. He is in great shape here. And if he makes this build-up, we know Mike's going to call. There's no way Mike's going to lay this hand down. And Alan's having a tough time here with ace-queen suited. This should easily be a muck for Alan. There's no doubt that he should get away from this hand, facing a limp re-raise and Tuckman re-raising all in. And, Dave's kind of playing this kind of like a short stack, and he is on a short stack for this game. He re-raised all in here. He's hoping, he really is hoping, I think, that Mike has ace-king. And Dave has moved all in for about 2,000 here with pocket 8s. And if he loses here, Shirley, he's going to be stuck a quick 3,000 or 4,000 here. Yeah,
well, he was stuck before that hand, before the pocket king's hand. So then he got dealt that hand and got rivered.
And Alan's really having trouble here with the ace-queen.
Well, we know some of the hands Alan plays. Ace-queen's a pretty damn good hand for Alan.
Well, he's changed his game up a little bit, too.
He's moving
this
all
is
in.
Unbelievable. Alan's going to go in here, and Alan's been running hot. This pot is unbelievable. And he's going to move in, and let's see how much more. He's in for 2,200, and I think here... Well, the funny thing now, though, I can't imagine that Mike would ever lay the hand down. Let's listen here. Mike has not called yet.
See, and the one thing that we know is that...
He's calling his hand,
Alan, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That Mo had one of those queens.
And look at this. This is unbelievable. Mike's going to fold. And Alan has ace-queen, and Tuckman has pocket 8s. And they might run it here a couple times. I think they're going to run the whole board 3 times here.
It looks like it. If Dave knew what we had, he would never do that.
Well, I mean, you can run it 3 times. It doesn't really, change the expected value.
Yeah, but if he knew that those cards are out there.
500 each, motherfuckers. 500 each.
What the heck was that?
Well, we got. Wow, the river's a 10 here. Tuckman's going to win the first one. Jonas has just won a huge prop bet here on that flop. Allen looks like he's going to win the second one unless. Yeah, so Allen wins the second one, and here we go, the third final time. Tuckman's way ahead from what we can see here with the cards out.
Oh,
open-ended. Open-ended here for Allen, and Dave's going to win.
This all works. Divide that up into 3. In hindsight, I spent money. He gets a third. You get a third.
Yeah, Dave is going to get 2/3 of the total pot. Again, if you want to take a look.
I know you're going to have an overpair. I know you're going to have an overpair.
I was going to say, if you go to Live the Bike and you actually can click under as seen at Live the Bike, we go over how they run the cards multiple times to change the expected values of the hands.
Right.
And I can't believe Mike got away from that. And that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And the funny thing is, Mike would have lost because no king or 8. Well, actually,
the king on the third.
Yeah, it depends on him.
Watch. How much is that? Really easy for you. The whole thing. Okay, the whole thing. Okay.
But what would have happened, Shirley, is that if you're all in with 3 people, they don't run it multiple times with 3 people, and Dave would have won the whole thing.
Yes,
he would have won $6,000 pot.
Yes, he would have.
1/3 of the score. 12 here. You could just take the 1/3.
Email here from Mickey Nygaard. He says, "Oh my God, you have to compliment Tuckman on his stunning 2-board jersey. All the more power to Danish products." There you go.
All right.
Have you ever had Carlsberg beer before? It's a great Danish lager.
I've never tried it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't even served it. We didn't serve it at the
Yeah.
place I used to work.
And again, we frown upon talking about prop bets, but Jonas just made a big money on that flop.
No, he's not.
That is unbelievable.
Okay, that's it. Yes.
So, do you know about this prop
I
bet?
do, but we don't really want to get into it.
Well, we might as well. They're sitting here paying.
Is that right?
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 2. This is.
So again, if Mike made that call, they wouldn't have run it because there were 3 ways, and Dave would have won the whole thing.
Right.
He would have won a $6,000 pot.
More than 6,000. Why didn't he have 24, 20
He had about,
something?
he had about maybe
Little
21,
over
22,
2,000?
something like that. Yeah.
You don't put me on ace king. You don't put me on a strong air at all.
And again, I'm not going to go into the prop thing, but you can see Jonas a lot of cash over there with 3 deuces on the flop. Funny, little poker players sometimes make those side things to keep them interested in the game.
Right, yeah, there's not enough betting going on in the game.
I raised 120. I know you don't have a huge pair. I have an ace king. And then Alan's sitting there overthinking.
Well, Tuckman's he's going to gain some money on that hand. That's nice. I mean, and the funny thing is, I played this game a couple weeks ago too, and when Mike is in the game just plays so big. It plays so big.
Do you think that people are still underestimating him?
I think people have realized that he's really been hot recently. Bird is going to raise this up to 60 here with ace queen. Now, Jonas has a suited ace-5 here in the small blind. He's going to make the call. We all know that Jonas is probably one of the best players on the table. He's not looking to hit his ace here. Well, he's picked up the nut flush draw here. Check. And Bird is going to see if he continues to bet here.
What a bad play, Dave. You just cost me more money than you can comprehend.
He's going to bet 250 here.
Okay, let's say I re-raise 600 and Dave mucks. He had $100 invested.
And Jonas is going to make the check raise. Excuse me. There you go. He's going to raise it up here with the nut diamonds. Now, Bert did not hit this flop. He's got a gut shot to the 10, and he has the queen of diamonds in his hand.
Yeah, he could have taken a free card there instead of betting.
And he's going to fold. And Jonas takes it down there. And that was the type of flop Jonas is looking to hit there. Again, it's interesting. We were kind of making fun of some of the players on the table last night because they were new players. Most of them from the tournament. I actually said they were tournament donks. They were raising 2, 3, 4 times the big blind. It really has no, in a cash game like this, it really is relative to stack size, not like raising to the blinds and such.
Right.
But you don't mind that. One thing you do is you can win hindsight.
Well, we can see that David just loves the commentary position. He's going to talk about that hand.
Yeah.
If he has 9s or 10s.
Mike is going to raise it up here. He's got pocket tens. He's going to make it 80 to go.
Same difference. I probably make $30 more because I hadn't covered.
And that is, I have to say, that's a pretty weak overcall by Allen to call with ace-queen. They were pretty much all in.
Should they?
But again, it's Allen. He's not a professional poker player.
Yeah, it was suited. I'm being sarcastic, of course.
Three-way action here. King 5-8. We just want to put that chip count out for the first time tonight.
There was going to be a flop guarantee with ace-queen and ace.
Couple clubs out there. We got a bet here out of seat 2 with 7-9. And Mike here is going to make that smooth call here with pocket tens. So Sean is making a bluff at it. The turn here is a 9, and Mike still has the best hand. We're heads up. It goes check on the turn, and the river's a deuce. And they're just going to give up because 7-9 made a pair on the turn, checked it down, and Mike's going to take it down with tens.
Not in commerce, not in another casino. It happens only at five. This kind of fun, only at five.
So that was a lot of fun.
How about that read? Before you did it, I said you got ace queen. You're going all
Good
in.
read there by Mike. That was
I'll play
funny.
with you too much, Alan. If I know
Obviously, ace queen is so much more vulnerable because you can, up against ace king.
Yes.
Or a pair.
Right.
Button's over there in seat number 9. That's Allen. That's Allen. And Mike is going to straddle.
Hey, Mike.
So it's going to be $40 to call here. He's going to have the option when it comes back around to him.
He has more money than he does. Now you have to call.
Limp in here by Ruben. Mike has got King Jack here, and I think he's going to raise it as he loves to do out of the straddle spot. Bunch of dead monies here. Wow, and Ruben is going to call here, and Ruben is dominated here with the jack. Kunal's pretty tight. He's going to get away from it.
And one of the coins that he needs is just folded.
And here we go with the flop 10-8-6, and Mike will fire here, I'm sure. Now, Ruben has a gut shot here with overcards. The pot is about, I want to say, 500 right now. And Mike checks, wow. And Ruben's going to bet 300 here. Overcards and a gut shot.
It looks like Mike's done.
Yeah, Mike is just going to, looks like he's probably going to give up on this one.
300. There's
I mean, unless he was going to check raise bluff here, or set up a play by calling, and I don't really know what. He's usually going to fire out here on the flop if he raises, out of the straddle, probably at least 90% of the time. But I think this time he's going to get away from it.
queen, queens, and tens.
That's what I'm saying. If you've got 9 to 10, you probably can. Because you know you like to route. That's one of the reasons I do it also.
Button moves over there to Mo, seat number 1. We're here live at the bike. We stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 Pacific time. And I'm looking forward to when the show ends tonight. I'm going to play a little 30-60 Omaha. I know that game's going to be going. It was going.
Yeah, you mentioned that was
with
going
yellow
yesterday.
chips,
Yeah.
$5 chips, man.
That sounds fun.
Yep.
That's all I've been playing is 30-60 Omaha.
Yeah.
And I've just been, the last month, I've been killing them.
Yeah.
You have a pair last time? Ace 10?
Ruben says he had ace 10, I had queen jack. Button's over there in Mo's hand in seat 1, and Jonas is going to raise it here. He's got pocket 9s out of seat 8, and he's going to take it down. We're not going to see a flop here. Email here from Jan Hannabalsen. Says, hey guys, I love watching your show. Keep up the great work. Question, how to play kings or aces properly on 3 to flush flops when your overpair doesn't have the suit to make the flush? Talking about heads-up situations when the pot is raised big pre-flop. How do I lose the minimum when opponent has flop flush and punish them hardest when they're drawing? From Denmark, Jan. Well, nice question. Get to that in a second. Well,
Remember this one for a year.
sometimes you talk about deep stack poker, trying to keep the pot small.
Right.
I'm going to throw something out at you. It's kind of a double-edged sword. If you make a bet on the flop and you get called, and you feel that the guy's got a lot of strength for some reason, and you don't have you know, you don't have that suit in your hand, you could bet the turn, but you got to fold your hand to a check raise, or you could check the turn behind him, give the guy a free card, but keep the pot small and call on the river. So,
right.
I mean, it's definitely you know, it's kind of a two-edged sword when trying to keep the pot small.
I probably like the second. You check the turn if you're in position. You check the turn, and then on the river you basically call almost anything, unless that fourth card comes.
Right.
Fourth flush card comes.
Now Mo's going to raise it up here to 120 here with ace queen. And he's going to get called here in 5 spots. Tuckman's in there with pocket nines. He makes a smooth call. And we've got a $600 pot here going to the flop. Well, Tuckman's got the overpair with the open-ended straight draw.
Right.
8, 7, 6 here on the flop. We are not going to have the cards up here this hand. And Dave is going to come out and bet here. He's going to bet 430. He's got pocket nines on this board.
Of 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8 rainbow. And it doesn't look like anybody can call here.
No,
I mean,
it doesn't.
Mo's got ace queen, and Mike has
Mike
queen
had a
7.
pair of 7.
And Mike is thinking about it here with
I
queen
think he's
7.
still mad at David.
Yeah. But Dave has got him. He's huge. He's a huge, huge favorite here. But he makes the call here.
Yes, he does.
He's going to make the call. This pot is going to balloon over $1,000. Here we go to the turn. The turn's an ace. Again, Mike has queen 7, and Dave has pocket nines. Now, that ace probably doesn't change much. I think Dave still thinks he has the best hand. It's about a $1,400 pot here. I believe that Mike is checked. And Dave is thinking now. Again, pocket nines against queen 7 here.
They both check.
And look at this. Dave checks right behind him, and the river here is a deuce. And Dave might be content just to check it down, and he does.
He is.
Now, he had a big draw there. He checked the turn. He didn't necessarily want to get bet off of his draw. Again, you know, sometimes we talk about trying to keep the pot a little bit small with your one pair of hands. I mean, he was open-ended as well. I don't necessarily know. You know, if Dave thought that Mike had a little piece of that, Mike wasn't going to call the turn anyways. And Dave, you know, he can afford to give off a free card because he's got a huge draw. I mean, what card is going to kill him there on the river, you know? And I think that's probably the way why he played.
But I mean, if you, like you said, you said you thought David thought he had the best hand. David thought he had the best hand. Why not put a bet in there?
Well, I think that he knows that Mike is capable of making a check raise all in.
Even
as
if
a
he
bluff,
has nothing.
As a bluff, and he didn't want to get involved with it. Mike is going to raise it up here on the button. He's going to make it 80 to go here. He's got 6, 7 offsuit. You can see that Bert has got ace-king suited here.
300 total.
And then you call.
And Bert is actually going to re-raise here, and I like the re-raise. You can't give Mike credit for a hand. He brought it in with 6, 7 here.
The re-raise is to 300.
Yep. Wow, and Mike is going to call. Well, these guys are really deep here. It's about a $600 pot here, going heads up. Oh, wow, and Mike's got the best of him. He's flopped bottom pair, and he's got a gut shot to the 9. That's a horrible flop for ace-king suited. Now, I played with Bert all afternoon. He's pretty aggressive post-flop, and he's going to come and fire right out here. He's going to bet $560 into a $600 pot, and Mike is going to quickly call. And Mike has position here, and here we go to the turn. Oh, the turn's an ace, and now Bert has the best hand. And it goes check, check, and the river here is an 8. And let's see how this one's going to play out. Bert checked the turn. Now he's going to check the river again. And, again, a lot of people are gun-shy against going against Mike.
Well, if you think Mike had a small piece of that, he could very well have had an 8.
And Mike says, you know, you bet the flop when you have nothing and check it when you get there, and that's exactly how that went down.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And Bert takes down about over $1,000 pot there.
You check with nothing, or you bet with nothing, then you check when you get the hand.
When you guys playing tournaments these couple days?
I should have popped you on the flop.
Dave Tuckman left his phone in the booth, and his wife keeps calling. His wife is just calling.
Is that the phone that keeps going on?
Yeah. We're like, what is this phone? Isaac's answered it. We were wondering what it was. Isaac has a special relationship with Dave's wife.
I think, who is that?
We had a lot of fun. Actually, we went over on Super Bowl, and we were drinking a lot of beer. And I actually left, but Isaac was showing Dave about some computer stuff. And so him and Dave and his wife and Isaac had a good old time over there. Did you settle it, Isaac? We were wondering what that phone was.
Well, it doesn't sound like a cell phone either.
I know.
It sounded like something was on the wall somewhere. I'm like, oh, they added a new phone in here.
She just kept calling, and she just kept calling and calling. But she knows that he does the show.
The only surefire way I know we're doing that one is usually with my buddy. My buddy, he has the worst luck in the world. And invariably, he'll
Looks like it was limped around here 3 ways. Ace,
And
9,
Rudin
10.
hits the ace.
Yep.
Bert has the open and straight draw.
I'll do the same thing.
And Bert's going to bet out $60.
Yep.
You gotta give it to me now.
And then Rubin with a pair of aces will call.
Yep. So Bert, he's got the open ender. He's going to need a queen here or
A 7.
That's a blank here on the turn. Rubin's going to check. Excuse me, Bert checks, and now Rubin's going to bet 200. Wow, he's going to call here with 1 card to come. There's a couple spades out there. Could you really get paid off here that much? Well, the river here is an 8. He backs into a pair. It's a 3rd spade. This is probably going to go.
Good.
Let's see if this goes
But it is a spade. It looks like he's grabbing chips.
Maybe he can represent spades
The
here.
Jack Queen. He can represent the Jack Queen straight draw.
He can.
Rather than the 8 Jack straight draw.
That's right. He could represent the Queen Jack. He also might represent backdoor spades. Rubin's hand is not that good. This is just a bluff catcher here. And he's going to bet 380 here. Rubin only has a bluff catcher. He can't beat a real ace. And he is representing Queen Jack or backdoor spades here. And I actually like the way that Bert's played. I've been watching him. He is pretty aggressive post-flop. You know, the funny thing about Rubin,
I would have
though,
liked a bigger bet if he was going to try to take that down.
Well,
I think he might get called
he's
here by
bet
Rubin.
380 into about a $550 pot, and he's going to get called. Well, you know, maybe he was trying to make it look like a value bet. And I think that might, if you take a look at Jonas, I wonder if his eyebrows might kind of go up, or he's going to notice the fact that Rubin, you know, called there with the ace-6. Not necessarily saying it's a horrifically bad call, but at the same time, you know, he's watching you. I think that's the point I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, I think that Jonas is the type of player that's going to notice everything.
Right.
His eyebrows aren't going to go up. He's not going to let anybody know that he knows.
Button moves over here to seat number 6.
I raise, phone call, we raise, and now I'm all in.
So you were up at Bay 101, right?
Yes. That tournament was crazy. I have never seen so many people that think that poker players are celebrities. The whole aisles are just filled with people with 8x10s of their favorite poker player wanting to get signatures. It was crazy.
Corporation Mike has got King Queen. So that's how it was like at the Invitational tournament. I had a great time there over at the other casino a couple weeks ago. Or was it last week? Did you catch our interview? Have you listened to the circuit before on Card Player?
Yes.
You know we were on there last week?
No.
Go listen to it.
It's on. I have a subscription. How did I not see it? Which one were you on?
You know, the funniest thing is that I have a subscription to it, too, and it didn't appear in my podcast subscription. People said that it was there, but you can go there and click on the circuit through Card Player, and we're right there. It clearly says, you know, Bart Hansen, Dave Tuckman from Live at the Bike. It was the invitational preview with Matisau for about 10 minutes, and then it was us. So it was right the day.
I haven't seen it. I mean, I was just there the other day downloading a lot of
I don't know why our thing didn't
there.
come up on the podcast subscription. I never saw it, but you can.
But even when I went to the circuit, that's what I'm saying. When I went to the circuit and downloaded episodes, and I didn't see it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at that right now. Interesting post here by 22 Skidoo. He said, Bart, can you tell us how a game evolves so that you have to use 24 chips to raise on the turn? Yeah, it's crazy. That's the 3060 Omaha game with yellow $5 chips.
What are you talking about?
956 here. Rainbow. It was limped around.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Because you're not going to iTunes. I was downloading it all from iTunes.
Yeah, if you go to Card Player and click on the circuit. Now we have a little bet here by Mike with 6-3. Now Rubin has got a gut shot here, and he's going to make the call. He's got backdoor hearts. Now Mo has top pair, and he's going to check raise with Queen 9. He doesn't believe Mike. He thinks Rubin is weak by just calling in between, and he's going to check raise it up here to 300. You don't necessarily have to have a super strong hand to check raise, but he's going to put some money in there with Queen 9. Mike has just had bottom pair here. He folds. And Rubin is not going to get involved. And there it is. There we go. Yeah, if you go to Card Player and click on the circuit. Final
I'm going to
pages
have
for
to
you.
go back here and get some of these because I couldn't download one with Daniel Negreanu.
But but it's funny too. My subscription in my iTunes didn't pick our episode up.
Mm-hmm.
Yours didn't either, right?
But see, I saw this one. I downloaded this
Yeah,
one.
it was with genocide, though.
Yeah, I got
don't
that
know
one.
if any of the other ones have gotten
No,
in
yeah,
there.
because I got Gus Hansen.
Oh, that's strange. I might have to email Scott and find out what's going on over
Yeah.
there.
It's a great show. I mean, it's a really entertaining show. Mike's hilarious. Don't you think? I think he's hilarious.
Hey, you know
he
what?
makes me laugh.
A couple people have emailed us and they said that it was the best. When we did the show, it was the best content that they've ever had on the show because they said that sometimes the poker celebrities get on there and it's kind of a bunch of crap or it's just a bunch of fluff that they talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really get into real poker strategy. And actually, by not having Manasau with us, Scott thought it would be a lot better because we could get into some real meat.
Manasau wasn't on
No,
there
he wasn't
when
on
you were
us
there.
with us. Yeah, 'Cause
Okay.
we could get some real meat and potatoes
Right.
poker in there. About cash game poker, obviously. Now Jonas is going to raise here to 150. He's on the button. He's got king queen. Going to make the mini. He's going to make the raise here, and Ruben's going to call with Jack 10 suited. And we're heads up here. It's about a $350 pot.
You're being nice.
Well, from what we've seen of Ruben, I don't think he's going anywhere. 10-9-3 here. Jonas
No,
has got a
he's
gut shot, and Ruben's going to
bet
come out and
out.
bet. He's going to bet 150 here. And Jonas can easily at least call here with his draw, I think.
And if he
yeah.
does hit the jack,
Yeah, it's
he's
gonna be
probably
big.
going to get paid. Yeah.
Because that would give Ruben 2 pair. You can see the odds here. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a 5. That's no help. He's going to bet 300 here. And now, sometimes you see this move by a player who might call the flop and now pop it on the turn. It's almost like a limit move somewhat as well. And this is what he's going to do. He's going to pop it up here with the draw. He's got a gut shot with overcards, and he's going to raise big. He's going to make it looks like 900 more. And I want to say now that the pot is about $2,100, 900 to call. And this really puts somebody in a tough spot, which is
Yeah,
the
it
10,
does.
right?
Yes, it does.
Yep. Jonas has got overcards and a gut shot to the jack. And Jonas, he might play this hand just like Aces heads up too. You never know. Now the flop was somewhat coordinated, so you wonder if he had a big hand on the flop, would he raise in position? But he's the type of player that maybe if he's going to slow play and a scary card comes on the turn, he's going to keep the pot small, and he might get away from an overpair if the right card comes. So he might have played it like that too. He's going to start thinking, and look at that, he gets
did-
Ruben
yeah, it
off the
works.
hand. Yep.
So I mentioned I haven't seen him. Has he been around?
Who's
Has he
that?
been playing? Jonas.
He's been coming on Wednesdays
Okay.
sometimes. He wasn't here this Wednesday, but it's good to see him here tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Email here from Jeff Arbuckle from Northwestern. He says, I play 2-5 no limit in Chicago. It's a $200 max buy, and the rate is $7 a half an hour. I plan to playing in the 3-6 table, but I feel that the rate is too high over there. Do you think that the rate
No,
here?
I think he mixed it up. He planned to play in that game a couple times, but thought the rate was too
Oh,
high.
I see. Right. Well,
So he ended up playing at the 3-6 table.
you know what? $200 no limit. I still don't think that people necessarily play that game to make a lot of money. I mean, I think it's a little bit difficult to make money with the way that the rake structure is set up in the game. I mean, $7 a half an hour. I can compare it to the
That's a
fact
lot.
that we take only $11 per half an hour for our 25.50 on Wednesdays, or I think it's 11 or 13. I'm not sure. We got a little raise here by it looks like
Sean
C2.
is too.
He's going to raise it out of the blind, and he made it only 60 more, just a little pot builder. So I'm going to drive anybody out. I just don't like this play. I don't want to pot build out of position here. I mean, he's got king queen suited, okay, but he's not driving anyone out. He's going to build up a pot
No,
out
but
of
the
position.
suited connectors like that's the kind you want to put a pot builder in there.
Well, he's
I do.
Ace king 8 here.
Not necessarily, out of position like you mentioned, but
And looks like it might get checked around here. And Sean actually has the
he
best
does
hand.
have the best hand.
See if he fires out here on the turn. Turns is 7. Well, now Allen's open-ended. He is open-ended here.
Now I guess, yeah, they're all done.
And nobody bets, again. And the river here is an 8, and that changes nothing. Sean's got the best hand. And is anyone going to fire here?
Doesn't look like it.
Nope. King is good. Look at that.
That's not quite what I do. Build the pot for though.
No, that puts it in,
Go, yeah.
puts it in a tough
Check it all the way
situation.
down.
Got an email here from Chad Seschler. I know you guys earn a living playing poker, and probably know many people that do. But do you or any people you know actually make a decent profit on other gambling games such as blackjack, sports betting, or horse race betting? I always hear about those being major leagues of poker players, but it seems that all the time people can beat those games for a profit at an expert level.
If you can reach an expert level.
Well, the thing is that those types of games are at such an inherent disadvantage. Like sports betting, you're at a 10% disadvantage. Anytime you lose, you have to pay a 10% fix. So you've got to be. It's incredible. I mean,
yeah, but that's like paying a rake, right?
No, I don't think it's. It's a huge disadvantage at sports betting. Apparently, you can make money professionally.
I have a friend that does professional sports betting. They do the parlay cards, and
Yeah.
they've been doing it like 5 seasons, and have been made money every season.
Well,
I have another friend that is a professional
Blackjack.
horse.
Horse.
Uh-huh.
Jack 5 deuce here was limped around, and it looks like Mike has the best hand. And I do not believe that he bet, and it's going to get checked over to Jonas, and Jonas is going to bet here on the flop. And let's see if Mike is going to check raise here, or if he's just going to make the call. Yep, he's going to
Makes
mini
it
check
300.
raise here. He's going to check raise it up $100, it looks like. Jonas bet with 4s, and Mike has made the check raise here. And I don't think that Jonas is going to get involved with this one.
Every pot is like 300 pre-flop before already raised.
He's looking at the 4s. But the other thing that I was going to say about, I guess you can play blackjack professionally also, because if you have a system where you can count the cards well enough, you have a little bit of an edge.
They're so on top of that now.
Yeah, they're on top of it. You're always
You can't
behind
vary your
your
bets
back.
by certain amounts.
Yeah,
and
it's obvious. Blackjack, I think, is. Yeah, it's real easy to pick up if somebody is. Because everyone knows the counting system, and they can count into the deck themselves. The people that run the casino know when you're varying your bets, so
Right.
it's tough to do. Yeah, but of course that's going to be a leak in poker players' games. We talk about how many poker players can make a living playing poker, but they have to make enough money to defeat their bad habits too. So if you don't have bad habits,
that's true.
you're really ahead of the
Yeah,
game.
well,
right?
I wouldn't necessarily say that playing blackjack or betting on horses is a bad habit. Some do it recreationally, some can do it professionally. It's right in between there where it's a bad thing.
Sean is
Going to
raised-
Vegas once a year is no big deal.
Sean's raised it up here with pocket 10s here to 80, and Mike is called with 7-8 here. Ace King Deuce. And Sean is going to bet 100. And Mike would have to make a stone cold bluff with this one if he wants to take this one down. He does not. Well, actually, I read a recent article regarding Phil Ivey, who was talking about how he stopped playing craps because he thought his habit was getting dangerous, because he had lost millions
He had lost a lot.
in craps. And he's such a good poker player, you don't want to be pissing away the
He had
money.
lost a lot, like last year, right at the beginning of the World Series, and then he ended up doing okay and getting out of it. But yeah, he's such a talented player.
Right.
That I think he's the best poker player in the world.
Well, here we go. We're going to take a look at the first chip count on the night here. So now we can see what they're at now. We've got over 30,000 on the table. Let's take a look at the
I
differences.
would lie to you, but I'm not lying this time. I promise you I don't have ace king.
Well, Tuckman,
I go, okay, in that case, I'm
I-
all in.
I'm not sure.
He could have.
I don't think that we're correct there with Dave. We'll fix that up here in a second.
If he lied, no, but he came out and gets
I don't think he's up 2,200. We might not have had the right original buy either on there.
I'm not lying. You're not gonna lie for
I moved all in. He called me with aces.
We're going to see four-way action here.
We've only seen him in one hand. Right?
Yeah, that can't be right. King 6-10 here. Tuckman's open-ended here. And we had a pre-flop raise, I believe, by Kunal with 7s.
Which is the best hand at the moment, but
And Dave's going to bet right into Mo. He bets 220 here, and he's probably going to take it down here with his semi-bluff. Now, Mike has ace high. It's the best hand, but he's not going to get involved. And Dave takes it down there. I think Dave might be close to even.
close to even.
Yeah.
He's won a little bit since we've watched
Well,
the show.
But, I mean, he was
Because
down
of-
before the show.
he was
That's what I'm
down
saying,
before the show.
originally. Yeah.
Mhm.
Button moves over here to Corporation Mike in seat 4. Yeah, he's in the game for 4,200, which probably makes him up 400 for the whole thing.
Since he's been sitting there, not since the show started.
Right, and he basically, the game's been going since about 6 o'clock Pacific time, so there you go. Up about $400. Mike has got ace 3 here on the button. He's going to bet 80. Raise it up to 80.
Bert, get in there. You owe me a little money. The way I see it.
He gets called by Bert there.
Yep,
on a
Bert's
big
going to
blind.
call here with an ace-7 suited. And here we go to the flop. King, King, Jack here at Rainbow. Obviously misses both players. Let's see if Mike makes a continuation bet here and takes it down.
Oh, you pick one against him?
Bert checks.
Check.
Wow, Mike's going to check right behind him.
Dave's looking around for his cell phone, I think.
Turn is a 6. And now Mike is going to bet, and he's going to take it down. Yeah, do you think that Dave's looking for a cell phone?
Well, he just stood up and checked his hands.
Yeah.
Put his hands on his socket.
Again, you can follow a live thread that started on the internet. You can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums. Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, etc. Official Live the Bike thread for March 3rd. We're getting 10-20, no limit hold'em. Brown chips are $10 chips. White chips are $100 chips. Let's root for Dave. Dave Chuckman is in the game. So there we go. Button moves over here to seat 5, and we have a live straddle by Jonas. And Mike's got pocket kings, and he is going to raise it up to 240. This is the part of Mike's game that I like, because now he'll play his big hands hard, surely. And look at this. Dave has got ace-9 in seat 5, and he's thinking about possibly coming over the top of Mike. But Mike's got pocket kings here, and Dave lets ace-9 go. And Jonas here is going to fold, and Mike is going to take it down. I mean, it just never made any sense for me for Mike to limp in with big hands if he's going to be raising with garbage. It was just, it wasn't consistent with what he was trying to do. And now he bets his big hands, which I think is great.
Especially because people want to play with him.
Well, they're not going to necessarily give him credit for a big hand, so why not drive forward big with your big hands, right?
As well as your
Yeah,
lane hands.
right.
This whole month, it's going to be whatever we want to put on.
500.
Button moves over here to seat 6.
But during winning the green, whatever we decide. You never know.
Post here by Roswell, who's Matt. He says, if I transfer you 5,000 on party, can you give me the cash at the bike so I can get in this game?
Matt.
Sorry. Yeah. Matt plays on the show sometimes.
Oh, not the mathematician teacher.
No,
Not the math.
no.
Okay.
Mo's going to raise it up here to 70. King, Queen suited. And Mike is going to call with 9-5 of clubs, but Mo's got King, Queen of clubs. Bert is in there with 7-8 offsuit. And here we go. We're going to see 5-way action to the flop. $350 pot. And Jonas is there with Jack 5 in the blind.
Mo's going to bet his top pair here.
Yep. Flops a king, and he's got the best hand. He's going to bet 250 here. Now, Mike has got bottom pair. He's got backdoor club possibilities. Sometimes he will take one off. He's going to fold. Bert here has second pair. Is he going to get involved with Mo? No. And Jonas also has bottom pair, but I don't think he's going to get involved with Mo either. Wait a minute. Look at this. He's going to make a check raise. He's going to check raise Mo, and this is going to be fun to see these two go head-to-head. He has check raised 500, and Mo instantly calls. Here we go. We got a $1,700 pot to the turn. The turn's a 6. And now Jonas is going to check. And this might be a spot, again, where Mo might check behind him because he's got one pair, and he does not want to build a huge pot. Or he might bet. He's going to come out and bet. He's going to bet
There's
1,000.
no figuring these two out.
He's going to bet 1,000 here. And Jonas is taking a look
He's
over.
looking over there like he's going to make some kind of move.
He bets 1,000, and Mo says, I only have about 2,000. So he's bet 1,000. The pot's 2,700. I mean, there could, I guess, be some fold equity. But if Jonas were to make some sort of move here, the pot would be about 5,000. It would be about 2,000 for Mo to call. I don't think he'd go anywhere with the stack size and the pot size in this situation. You can take a look here at Mo. I think Jonas he did not want to get involved. He was just going for the fold.
Yeah.
And Mo called him. So. And again, you might look at it like, well, if I check raise and he has a single pair and he's the type of guy that doesn't want to play a big pot with one pair, I might get 2 cards because he might check the turn, and you never know.
Yep.
But I think actually in that spot,
And I think he would
like
have
the
got
bet.
2 cards from most players,
Yeah.
not from Mo.
Right. Button moves over here to Ruben. So what have you been up to, Shirley? Been playing a lot.
I've been doing a lot of online. A lot of the 3060. It's been really good. And of course, working on my websites.
Yeah. Kunal has limped in with ace-jack. Mike is raised it up here to 80. And Kunal, who limped in with the ace-jack, let's see if he's going to take this out of position against Mike.
Looks like he is.
Yeah, he's going to make the call. And he is dominated here. But Mike is dominated, but probably both players. And look at this. Actually, you know what? Kunal is going to limp re-raise. I was going to say this might be one way to play it, figuring, you know what? Ace-jack might be the best hand here. But I think that Mike might call in position.
Play.
He makes the call, and we've quickly got a $600 pot here.
And Kunal's grabbing his chips like he's moving in no matter what.
Queen 5-3, yeah.
Yep, he did.
You know, the funny thing for Mike there is that you wonder why he called the limp re-raise, because Kunal, I didn't notice the chip stacks. He was committed. He was going all in. Ace-9 is not that big of a hand. You've got to know you're probably behind. If they were deep stacked, and if it's Mike, who I think plays great against passive players, and he's in position, I don't mind the call, because I think he could outplay Kunal post-flop. But there, you know, again, you've got to watch your stack size in relation to the game. Button moves over here to seat 8. That's Jonas. Jonas actually is on a PDA over there. We need to get him off of there. Seat 8. Limped around here. Three-way action here. King, 6, queen. Again, we're on a 5-minute delay to protect the integrity of the game. Obviously, this is not. I mean, we are live. We do the commentary live, but it's on a 5-minute delay, so you cannot get phone calls and messages regarding hands. River here is a 9. We've got checked around on the flop, on the turn. And it looks like Mo is going to take it down there with a pair of 7s. Yep. And again, we can't stop necessarily people from going to the bathroom, taking phone calls, getting messages, but it doesn't really affect the game when you think about it, because everyone has access to that same information.
Yes.
You can play in this game, you can watch it, and then play with the guy at the same time the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, the true great poker players can change up their game at the moment, you know, just because Jonas might, you know, find out that Mo actually had a king that hand doesn't really change anything, I don't think, you know. Pocket kings here for Jonas in the cutoff. Dave is playing it pretty tight here.
I don't know if Dave's had really playable hands.
Well, that's what happened to me when I played on the show. I just had absolutely nothing. Jonas is going to raise here. He's going to make it 140 with pocket kings. All right, there you go. And he is not going to get anybody to play with him. Jonas is going to take it down there. There you go.
No flop, right? They changed it. They raised it up. And
Button's going to move to seat number 1.
Oh, maybe the previous dealer,
And that's Mo. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Well, email here from Ray Tixet. He says, your show did turn up on my iTunes description. It's dated 2/25, and it's his final table preview show. But does not list your name.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's,
so maybe it's on there on mine.
Yeah, but I didn't have it,
Because I haven't
though.
listened on mine.
I didn't have it. Ace Jack of diamonds here for seat number 4. That's Mike. We got a raise here. He's going to make it 3:30 to go here out of the straddle spot. It's amazing how often Mike actually picks up big hands in the straddle spot. He's got Ace Jack of diamonds. Unbelievable. He's going to take it down. There's also something else on iTunes. I got an email here from William Frick saying that he called in to Scott Huff, or where you leave a message on the circuit, when Mike Nassau was doing something called the plumber service, which was it's like a little thing where you call in and try to plug the leaks in your game. And he said he got a plug-in for Live at the Bike. So there you go, if you want to listen to that. I'm not exactly sure which episode that was, but people know what they're talking about, or people know what I'm talking about. You can check that out as well.
MIT guys came out with a computer that could actually, and they beat it by a couple of points one way.
Limped around. We got a raise here on the button. He's got pocket sixes. He's going to make it 60 to go. A little bit of a pot sweetener, obviously. He might get 4 cards to hit his set instead of 3. But I always say, when somebody makes a little bit of a raise like this, you almost know they don't have a big overpair. They're not trying to protect their hand.
You know that they usually have a small pair
and you're
or
not going
a
to check.
suited connector.
I wouldn't. If I hit top pair and I was somewhat in late position, I wouldn't check it to him just because you raised pre-flop. No way. So we're going to see a flop here. Here we go. Ace, deuce, 8 here. And you know what? Does Sean have the best hand with sixes?
Yes.
It looks like he's got the best hand. And he's going to come out and bet. He's going to bet 130 here. In about a $240 pot. And he's going to take it down. It's going to be enough. There you go.
I think also the beginning of NFL seasons.
So how much Omaha do you play online? I mean, is that a big part of what you've been doing lately, or have you just been more concentrating on working on your website sites? I guess now.
Sites now.
Yeah.
I've been doing both, but usually, even when I'm working on my website, I've been keeping one game going. I have been recently playing on a couple different sites. One of the sites, I play the same limit, but their site moves slower. It seems that the players act slower, so I'm able to.
What site is that?
Play 2 games.
You don't even want to tell us. Hey?
But I can play 2 games on that one. Because remember, I've always told you I always only play just 1 game.
Right.
But I can pull 2 off over there.
Kunal is going to raise this one up on the button to 80. He's got queen 9 of clubs. And Mike and Sean are in the hand. So we've got about a $250 pot here. And like Sean's got trip 5s. See if Kunal makes a continuation bet. He does. He's going to make it 220, and let's see how Sean's going to play this. Out of position. He's flopped trip 5s. Kunal does not have any piece of this, so.
I think, generally speaking, they're called teasers.
Looks like he's going to check raise right away here, and he does. He's going to make it 400 more, and this hand is probably going to quickly go out.
Yeah.
Kunal's not that deep. He's going to get rid of it. The funny thing is, since kind of changed, I don't play online quite as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
But I still probably try to play at least 10,000 hands a month, and I've been actually playing no limit. I've actually multi-tabled, say.
Have you?
Yeah, I actually multi-table, say, usually I'm on Absolute, and I'll play 2-4 no limit where the max buy-in is 800, or 1-2 no limit where the max buy-in is 400. I really like that site because they give you 200 times the start.
Which site? I'm sorry.
Absolute.
Okay.
Whereas other sites will only give you 100 times the big blind, or even less.
Oh, no wonder I haven't seen you over there. Because I've looked over there, and because you used to multi-table the 510 or 1020, right?
In the limit, yeah. I don't really play the limit.
It's very rare that I've ever played a no-limit game online. I've played the no-limit tournament.
Right.
But I think I've probably played no-limit online maybe 10 times, the ring games.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No, actually, I'll tell you. I've been playing on parties where I've been playing.
Really?
It's just, the reason why I don't say is just because, PokerStars is my big advertisers. Parties are my small advertisers.
The game actually moves slower, the physicality
I don't think
of it?
I think the players act slower.
Oh, really?
The game on PokerStars is so aggressive, and players, are, ready to act.
Right.
Plus, there's usually only 1 game going. So people are usually only playing 1 game, whereas parties, people are playing 2, 3, 5 games at one time.
Again, we're playing 10-20 no limit here. We have an email here from Ryan Van Beekum. 10-20 no limit. Brown chips are $10 chips. Whites are hundreds. And Mike here is going to raise it to 90 in the cutoff with queen 6 offsuit. And Ruben is going to call with queen jack suited, and Ruben dominates Mike here. But again, that doesn't mean anything if it goes miss on the flop, and Mike bets a missed flop when checked to. Let's see how this one's going to play out. Well, Ruben's hit a piece of it, and Mike has missed. Ruben's going to check middle pair here, King, Jack, 8, and Mike's going to bet.
Mike bets.
Mike bets 200, and Ruben quickly calls. Mike is in horrible shape. You see, he would only be able to catch running sixes here to win. That's
Yes.
it. Now he's drawing dead. And look at Ruben's hand. He's picked up a straight draw and a flush draw with his pair. His hand is huge now. And Mike is going to... Mike
The
looks
flush
like he's
draw.
going to give up.
Yeah.
Yep. And the river here is a 7. Well, Ruben didn't make any of his draws. But now he checks it again, and now Mike is going to bet. He's going to bet, it looks like 600. Mike took a card on the turn, and then when Ruben checked to him again, scary card on the river comes. Anyone with a 10 would have a straight. Ruben can pretty much only beat a bluff here, obviously.
I think Ruben's going to call.
And he does make the call.
He does make the call, and I'll tell you why.
And Mike, obviously, Mike likes to talk about, oh, man, he called me with a jack. You can't beat anything. And that really plays into Mike's game because if he bets his monsters hard, he's going to get paid off, obviously.
I think that if Mike hadn't said anything on the river, he might not have got paid. But Mike said, well, I guess my hand's good then.
Well, you know,
Meaning that I don't have the 10, I might only have this, and I might only have second pair.
Right.
And Ruben had, second pair with a good kicker.
well, people have actually wrote in to me and said that they kind of have a little bit of a tell on Mike that when he talks, he's bluffing. But when he has a real hand, he doesn't say anything.
Okay.
So I was never.
I don't watch him enough.
I was never really one. I'm big on huge physical tells.
Uh-huh.
I think they're vastly overrated. But
Well, I think the betting, the amounts
yeah,
of the
betting
bets
pattern
are,
is much.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ruben's got pocket kings now. Of course, Mike has the right to see the hand, obviously. And he asks, well, actually, he didn't need to ask because he just shows up the bluff, and he still has to see the hand. Ruben's going to raise. He's going to raise it up to 200. Now, Sean's got pocket 5s here. He limped in. He's going to make the call, and he has position on Ruben. We're going to see it heads up here. Ace 6-10, pretty scare card for Ruben. Let's see how he's going to play it. It went check here on the flop. Turns another 6, and Ruben's going to check again. Check again. He's got the king of clubs in the river. Here's a jack. And this one just gets checked down. Well, I've seen people play kings like that. I don't necessarily think it's the worst way to play it because you almost think that if you throw a bet out, could you ever get called by a hand that's not going to beat you with the ace up there? You might almost just check call and deuce a bluff, check call and deuce a bluff.
The turn paired the board and put the third club out there.
Yeah. I mean, he picked up the nut club draw on the turn, but yeah, actually, I think the last time Dave was on the show, which was 25-50, he played a hand like that when he raised with kings in early position. And the ace came out. He checked it. It was against Avo, just because he felt that if he threw out a bet, he didn't think that he could be getting called by something that was less than an ace. So Mike is going to limp in here, 6-7 offsuit, and Dave's going to raise. He's got pocket 9s. He's going to make it 120 to go. Ruben is going to call with a suited ace here in position. And Mike is in there with 6-7 offsuit.
Stuck it to him last time.
Yeah.
I'm sure David's not happy Ruben called.
Three-way action here. Here we go. Well, 9-8-6 here. Tuckman's hit top set with all spades up board.
Mike's hit bottom pair with an open and
Yep.
straight draw, although
There's three
flush
spades
cards
out there. Yeah, that's not a huge hand there with 3 spades. And Tuckman is going to drive forward here. He's going to bet 360 with 3 spades out there with top set. About the size of the pot. And I'm surprised that Mike is getting involved. I mean, there's 3 spades out there. He's going to raise. He's going to make it 800 here. And you know what? Let's see what Tuckman's going to do. He has obviously he can make a re-raise or he could just call, but we're looking at a 3-suited board. He might not want to scare himself up. He might make a big move here. The other thing, too, is you might look at it, Mike might just be on a pure bluff, and you might want to let him fire into you. He does have position on Mike. Let's see how he's going to play it. It's an $800 check raise. And Tuckman is looking at top set. And even with a flopped flush, all the money can go in here. Because, Mike might have flopped the flush maybe 5% of the time. Any other hand, Tuckman's ahead. Even if he did have a flush, Tuckman has outs, obviously.
Yes.
So I think he's in a really good shape here, obviously. I don't think he's scared at all. I think he's trying to figure out, do I want to scare myself if I just call?
And
Will Mike
another
fire him?
spade come out
Yeah.
there.
He makes the call here.
He does.
But he might just call trying to represent that he has spades, and Mike might fire again if another spade doesn't come. That's another way. And actually, you know what? He is going to re-raise. We couldn't see that. He re-raises here.
Wow.
Boy, Mike looked like he was going to push. He looked like he was going to push, but then he stopped. Mike, and Tuckman is pretty much re-raised. Mike looks like all in. He's made it 1,500 more to go here. He verbalized it, Shirley. That's why we couldn't see it. And you know what? If I was playing there, I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't want to
like that
screw
move
around.
better than calling.
Yeah.
I thought he flat called. I didn't really care for that
I mean,
one as much.
that's playing it really tricky.
Not a spade.
Should just call.
Well, I mean,
He's like, David was worried that he had one spade.
Well, the turn would have been an 8, so that would have been perfect for David if he had just called. But what I was going to say was that if you want to play it really, really advanced, Dave might have just called there because he might have thought that Mike thought he was on spades, and he might have just fired in. Mike thought, you know what, Dave has a high spade. I'm going to bet big again here on the turn if the spade doesn't come, and then Dave could really move. But you know what? 2020. I mean, you can't play every hand exactly. There's a bunch of different ways to play the hand. I think you played it fine there.
Yeah.
Don't put in any game. It's ready.
I like to play there. I think probably best.
Right.
Because, like I said, I mean, if a spade came on the turn, then it's like, now what?
Right.
That's your sit. He's playing over on you.
Well, I think if a spade came on the turn and Mike checked, Dave would have checked behind him
Yeah.
and taken a card at that spot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Dimitri's here? I'm getting up, buddy.
I think Dave is happy with his win. He says Dimitri's here, and Dave says he's going to get up. So that's good. And we're going to raise here by Jonas. He's going to bring it in
Yeah, he's going to sit down there.
For
Then you're first up.
40.
You want this seat or you can't find
140, excuse me. With Jack 9, he's going to take it down. And you wonder how much Dave is up. He's up probably a couple grand, I would say, right?
I think so.
He's got 4,000 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 stacks of brown.
Which are,
Almost 7,000 we're
Yeah.
getting word, so he's up about $2,800. Or 25 to 3,000. Pretty good night there for Dave in about an hour.
If I were David, I don't look at the card.
Button moves over to
If I
Allen
have
in
aces,
seat
I can
9.
call in. Otherwise, I throw it away.
Put some chips for him.
Leave him, okay?
So we're going to see Dave in here. And that was an interesting hand. We'll have to have Dave comment about that.
As much as you want, right?
5,000 is fine. Whatever you have, you want to leave.
And Dimitri coming into this game is going to add so much flavor here, Shirley. The flop comes out here, Queen, Jack, Deuce, and the turn is a Jack. And Mo's got trip jacks. He bets, and Mike makes the call. And the river here is a 7, and Mo fills up. He's got jacks full of 7s. He bets again here. He's going to bet 400. And Mike really can't beat anything. He can't beat a real queen. And he's going to call Mo. And again, this is the little bit of a leak in Mike's game that I talk about. Sometimes making a call when I just don't think it's possible. I mean, against Mo, hey, Mo's capable of bluffing, right? Oh, this is interesting. So have you been following the... I know sometimes you read 2+2, but have you heard about that Z Justin thing?
yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that I really like Party's stance on it. I
Right.
think that it was a little extreme because,
Confiscate all the funds?
well, only because of the fact that it seems that, a lot of his money was made on single tables and
Yeah.
you can't get on the same single table from the same IP address. But I think that it sends out the message, this won't be tolerated. So I think it's the right move. So I liked it.
And Dave is actually going to come in here with you for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to exit.
With all kinds of cash in his hand.
How much did you end up making? 4,000?
He's still
3,000?
trying to figure it out. Like 2,000?
Yeah.
Couple thousand.
So I'm going to be back here in a couple of minutes. Thank you, Shirley, for coming on the show.
No
when I come
problem.
back, I'm probably
My
going to be
pleasure.
taking your spot.
Right.
So
It's
here we
always
go.
a pleasure.
Here comes Dave.
So I think it's really sad, though, to know that Z Justin would even do that when he has, clearly he does have talent. and he could win without having to, I guess, quote unquote, cheat. Don't you agree, David?
I agree.
you
I mean,
just okay.
I've always been a little sour on internet poker. I got to be honest. Oh, there I am.
Oh.
And
Okay.
and it just makes me more like a little scared to play online. I've always been one of those skeptics. Like, man, I don't know. A lot of money, so easy to cheat.
Right.
Well,
Well, I
what's
think
stopping
it really
people from doing
depends
it?
on the games. Like some of the larger games, of course, you just want to stay away from. Like, I don't know if I would play the 100, 200 or feel comfortable playing the 100.
Yeah, I mean, I just get a raise
I
here
wouldn't want to play the big
from
sit and goes.
Bert here with Ace King of Hearts. Bert's a pretty solid player. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
I've got to. I have
That
to know
last
how
one
you
was
play.
really interesting.
Yeah, set.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Huh?
2 pair or no? He's
He
lying.
had one pair open and straight draw.
Oh, he did. Okay, so he said he had 8-7, so he wasn't lying.
Yeah.
But
I
no
don't know if
spade.
did he have 8-7 or 6-7?
Okay, either
He
way.
might have had. He had one.
He had a pair, but open-ended there.
Yes.
I thought about smooth calling him here.
Uh huh.
Let's see if Jonas calls this. I think he looks like. Well, he looks like he might raise. Jonas has got Jack 9 here. He's raising pre-flop. No, I'm sorry. The flop's already out there. It's 4-3-3. And it had checked around. Bert had checked. I'm sorry. Jonas bet 340. And Sean called. Sean has got top pair here. Backdoor heart draw. Now the deuce of diamonds on a turn.
He has a gut shot straight draw now. He
Yeah.
doesn't have a backdoor heart draw.
Jonas
the
is-
deuce, the deuce of
Jonas has got
diamonds came on
absolutely
the
nothing.
turn.
But if Jonas bets a lot, I mean, can Sean call? This is a raised pot. Very easy for Jonas to have pocket 8s, pocket 9s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. I'm just wondering. Now, did you like to play with the 8s?
The 8s.
The first big hand I played. I mean, I'm not sure if we were on.
Oh,
it.
the first big hand.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Where I moved all in with 8s.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like this fact that you sat there and talked about it for an hour with Mike, trying to explain yourself.
Oh, with Mike, I don't mind because you know what? We sit in here and we talk about Mike for so long.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for him, so I don't mind
Right.
talking to him. Particularly,
Okay.
I usually, if I'm sitting in a normal game, like a 5-10
You
game.
wouldn't do that.
Oh, I don't even talk about it at all. Somebody goes,
Okay.
hey, what do you have? I don't even say anything.
Okay.
But these are guys that we talk about on a regular basis.
That makes sense.
I want to give them the due respect of at least, hey, talking to their
Explain
face.
it, yeah.
Well, I'm going to come in here and just talk behind their back.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
No, I like to move. If you
nice,
knew
nice bet there by Jonas. He bets $1,000 into the pot, and Sean just cannot call with just a
John,
top pair.
he's a great player. If you saw what we saw, that's what I kept telling Bart. If you saw what we saw, you would not have ran it.
Right.
Multiple times. He had, let's see.
Was there a
Mo
queen dead
was
and an
involved.
ace dead?
They were all dead. I mean, they all each had like each other's cards. Okay. Seat 9, Alan had ace queen. Mike had ace king, and Mo, if you remember, was involved in
Yeah.
hand king queen.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow, so I was in
So they
great
were all
shape.
sharing cards. Yeah.
Well, I assumed when I raised it up and I get a call from Alan and Mo, I thought maybe they got big cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Mike comes over the top, I go, there's no way he has pocket aces, kings, queens, or jacks. I go, because he was in late position. I don't think he's going to limp in with that in late position. I go, maybe I can get him off 9s or 10s, if by chance he has that. And if he's got anything else, why not just take it down?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had some fold equity. Mike was trying to tell me that he was going to call me no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, Alan kind of screwed that up for him.
That's fine, I don't mind.
But had Mike called,
I still would have won. Twice.
that would have been great. No, if Alan would have,
Oh, if they both called.
if they both called, you would have been in great shape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have been able to run it.
Yeah, now Mike's not stupid, though. He knows that. Dimitri's got top pair here. 7-3.
We have a king. Oh, okay, he folded.
And the 3 on the river is obviously inconsequential. Dimitri still has 7s and 5s with the king kicker. The 3 does not play, folks. And it turned out it was a somewhat profitable little hour in there for me, hour and a half. And it was a bad start, too. I don't know if you guys told everybody. I had pocket
We
kings and
did,
somebody
yeah.
spiked the 8 on the river on me.
Right.
But Dimitri's back in the game, and like most of the players on the table would rather have him in the game than me.
Of course.
I think our
yeah.
viewers would rather have him in the game than me. And Jonas is really thinking about this. I mean, Dimitri has put a little bet in there, and Dimitri's going to win this. With 7s over 5s, Jonas calls. And, I think Jonas really said, you know what, wait a second. Because oftentimes, I always talk about value betting the river. And most players that are pretty rational but solid players would not bet a 7 there. You know what I mean? It's a third spade. Most players, when they're betting the river, they're usually bluffing or they have monsters. I mean, a lot of players. Now, sometimes either somebody who's betting the river for value, I'll either put in the category of they're either don't know what they're doing or they're a really good player.
Yeah. You think you said a logical player wouldn't bet there, doesn't? What does that mean about Dimitri?
Well, he's a gambler. I'll say he's
Yes,
a gambler. He's
that's
here to
true.
gamble. He's
Yeah.
not here. He's not. You know what I mean? He's not like going. Well, he's not thinking. Can a hand worse than mine call me? He's not thinking that.
No.
He's just thinking. I have a 7. I'm gonna bet.
Right.
So be it. So I think Jonas is in Jonas's mind. I think he's thinking. Wait a second. This guy's either bluffing, or he's either bluffing, or he's got an absolute monster. I can call it 6s. And we see it. 6 ways, folks. $100 raise. We got a $600 pot, folks. Ace 7-3, 2 hearts out there. Wow, what a flop for seat number 6. Bert has got top pair with the nut flush draw, but he does not have the best hand right now because Ruben has ace queen. Well, this is really interesting. Now Bert comes out and bets 600 right into the pot. The pot is now $1,200, and it goes over to Ruben. And we always talk about ace queen being a real trap hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's a raised pot. How do you know where you're at right now?
He does have the best hand right now.
I can't tell you how great it is to see you here.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish you were still in the tournament. You know, that kind of sucks, but
It was just one of those days. I told you where it was just basically came to one hand where I had second.
and we see a turn here. 8 of spades does not change anything, and this pot is $1,800, folks. And let's see it. Bert checks it. He doesn't put a little blocker bet in there. It might have been a good spot to put another $600 bet in there, but now he's faced with a $1,000 bet, and this pot is quickly, folks, $2,800, $1,000 to call. You know, does he have the odds to call this?
Well, he's not calling.
Wow, he's moving all in, it looks like. Yeah, but there's no fold next. We saw from Ruben before. Ruben's not going to throw it away. 5 on the diamonds changes nothing, and Ruben is going to double up.
Yes, he is.
Oh, wow.
That takes out. That takes
Oh,
wipe him
man.
out, right?
Well, I'm trying to think exactly how much. We'll get word of how much money Ruben had left here. The pot was $3,800 before Ruben moved in.
27. Was that 50 there?
Wow.
So they're working all that out. Yeah, that's a huge pot.
The one nickel doesn't count.
Yeah, you know what? Ruben actually had doubled up off of me and then doubled up off Mike, won a lot of money off Mike, so it's perfect timing for him. It's another $2,700, folks. So we're talking about we're talking about a $9,000 pot approximately, give or take a couple hundred. Wow. And Ruben, who, you know, I got to tell you, if there's one player at this game that I really want to play against, it's Ruben, and he's probably the big winner tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said like earlier when he got you at the 8. You gotta love that. I mean, you want to be in the pot with him like
Of course
that.
you do. I mean, you also.
But this time
you
he
don't-
did have the best hand.
I mean, you also don't mind the fact that he's committing all his chips. I mean, think about it. He just committed $5,000 with top pair with a queen kicker.
Right.
I mean, he had one pair and he's committing $5,000. I mean, that's the kind of guy. I mean, I do not
Yeah,
want
but
playing
I mean,
with him.
come on, David. I mean, he might have had a tell on the guy.
Yeah, you're right. He might have. You're right. He probably would have laid it down against somebody else.
He would have laid it down.
Against anybody else, he lays it down, right? Is that what you're saying?
You should have just seen your look.
You know, it's funny, when I flopped that set of 9s, a couple of things were going in my head. Like, if I slow play this, if I just smooth call Mike, Mike's going to have to bet the turn and I might get all his money. But if a 4th spade comes off,
That's
am
what
I
I
going to
was
scare
thinking.
myself to throw it away?
Yes. That's what I was thinking. If that card comes out, and then what?
Then what do I do exactly? It was
Uh-huh.
really a tough spot there because I'm going, you know, if Mike's got the flush ready, okay, I'm going to lose my money here. But I was worried that if a 4th spade does come off and he bets 1,500 into it, oh, then where I'm at, you know?
Right.
Straddled pot here. Queen 4, 9, 4. There's the 4 there. Nobody's got anything here. I mean, Dimitri's open-ended. Jonas has got second pair. I'm sorry, well, that's a lot more than anything.
Right.
Jonas is in the lead here, but Dimitri's got outs.
Did Dimitri just bet? Okay, he bet 800.
And Jonas is going to
Jonas
call.
calls.
And this pot is quickly about $2,500. 3 of hearts on the river. It's the 3rd heart, but it's backdoor. I don't think Jonas is looking at that one. And Dimitri has missed his hand.
Jonas' hand is still good.
Yeah, and wow,
Can he
Dimitri's
make
going to
this
put
call?
out. Well, against Dimitri, you might. Against anybody else, you probably lay it down against maybe Dimitri or Mike. But Dimitri can do
He
this.
does.
And wow, what a call by Jonas. He calls it second pair, terrible kicker. Dimitri misses his straight draw, and Jonas takes down. I think the bet on the river was about $2,500.
It was pretty big.
Wow, and we
I
were
wanna
looking at
make
it.
one observation. Did you notice that Jonas had not even really looked at Dimitri on the river and had already had his chips basically ready to call?
Yeah.
Like he knew on the turn, I'm calling on the river if it doesn't put this card or this card. Like he basically knew his action because he didn't think. He already knew, I'm going to do this on the turn I'm going to do this on the river.
I mean, the dangerous
That's
thing
a
is
good
against
player.
a player like Dimitri, you never really know what he has. I mean, against some players you might go, I think he has specifically Jack 10. He's open-ended and he's betting his draw. But against Dimitri, he could have ace-4, bet bottom pair, and then hit trips. And still play it the same exact way. It's really difficult. But look at that. Jonas makes a great call and takes down a $7,500 pot.
So they're talking about tells on you. You got to go back and look at that.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. This about your chip movements.
Is I giving away a lot of stuff?
I don't know. I didn't notice it, but I'll have to go back and look at it.
Okay.
Some people are talking about it.
Hey, I'm always looking for ways to improve my game. I appreciate it. If people can, somebody sees a
Can
tell
help
and they
you
want to.
out.
If
Yeah.
somebody actually sees a tell that I'm giving and then wants to tell me about it, thanks.
I've had somebody do
appreciate
that. It was in a tournament, but it was one of my good friends, and we don't sit that
Right,
sit
right.
that often. And we walk. He goes, "Yeah, I saw something, Shirley." And that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for telling me. Button moves over to seat 7. That's Ruben. Alan is taking a break, a little smoke break for him, I'm sure. Could be a potty break, but I don't know.
Probably a smoke break.
Alan always needs that the nicotine. And Mike makes it 80. Surprise, surprise. He's got ace-10 offsuit. Dimitri's going to call the 80 with king-jack, and we are heads up, folks. Pot's about $200, and the flop is ace-6-5. Mike checks it. He's going to try to induce a bluff here by Dimitri, but Dimitri does not bite. 4 clubs on the turn, and Dimitri is drawing dead.
Done. Yeah.
And Mike bets,
That
takes
was
it down.
quick.
Yeah. Pretty much, you have king-jack. The only card you really, really don't want to see is an ace.
Well, the only card you really want to see is a jack, right? Or no,
Yes.
I guess you want to see an ace if it comes with ace queen 10.
Yeah, that's okay,
Yeah.
right. Against Mike, you never know. I mean, against most players, you don't really call. You wouldn't call a raise with king jack offsuit. It's an easily dominated hand. But against Mike, he could be raising with 6-7. You never know.
True.
I mean, I was actually telling Mike when Bard had played in this game, I had the same problem. Playing to Mike's left. Now, some people like to play to the left of a maniac. I actually don't like playing after Mike because Mike raises so many hands, puts you in a spot where you're either calling raises with kind of speculative hands, or you're raising and you're committing a lot of chips with somewhat marginal hands
Right.
because he's raising so much. Ace 6 limped around pot. This pot is $120, folks. Seat number 6, Bert has top pair. Well, not top pair, sorry.
He
Two
has a
pair.
Yeah, he has 6.
He also has backdoor clubs. And I don't think anybody's going to call Bird here.
Doesn't look like it.
Maybe Sean will raise him, but I don't think he's going to call. Is he thinking of calling maybe to set up a play? No, he's not going to get involved. Bert's going to take it down. And what about, I was actually curious, when I had pocket 9s, the flop came out 6, 7, 8. And
Yes.
I
I
bet
remember
it.
that.
I bet it. Everybody fold. It was a raised pot. Pot's 400. I bet 400.
Right.
Mike called me.
Right.
Did you mind the check on the turn and the check on the river? I probably should have bet the river value.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I said and what had happened and what he had. I remember that.
Oh, you were in that.
And he had.
He said he had a pair of sevens.
had a pair
He had
of
like
sevens.
second pair or something like that, and he had maybe a gut shot.
He
or
did
something.
have a pair of 7. He had queen 7.
Queen
That's
7.
what
Okay.
he had.
Okay.
So he had queen 7.
So I gave him a free card by going on that turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he would have paid me off on the river or not. Probably not.
Right.
Mike, of course, live straddle, and everybody folds to him. It's an easy $30 one.
I think I remember the turn was an ace. That's what
The turn was an
happened.
ace, right?
Okay.
And he checked to me, and I
Right.
checked behind him.
And Bart had said, well, I'm sure that David knows that card didn't hurt him. And then after the hand was over, I said, well, if David knew that card didn't hurt him, then maybe he should stick in a bet.
Yeah.
But did you know that? Did you
I
think
didn't
he'd have,
necessarily. No, I didn't necessarily know he did. I mean, I didn't know if he maybe had ace The flop came out 6, 7, 8. I don't know if he has ace 5.
Ace 6. We're-
Ace 6.
Sure.
I don't know exactly what. And if I bet there and I'm faced a big check raise by Mike, I can't play on. I was kind of almost trying to keep the pot a little smaller there.
Yeah.
Now, when he checks to me in the river, I'm almost 100% sure I had the best hand. I probably should have bet the river for value. Maybe get called by an 8. Mo with ace king here. The pot was straddled by Dimitri. Flop comes out 10, 9, deuce. Mo had limped in, actually, hoping. Oh, actually, Mo made it 200. I apologize. I'm just sitting here talking to you. I don't get you in the booth that often.
I know.
And Mo's got the king of spades in his hands. Dimitri has the best hand, though, with a 9. And it's 400 here. Now, you see, actually, Dimitri has the best hand, but Mo's actually the favorite, folks. Well, not anymore. He's not. 4 diamonds on the turn, folks. Let's see if Dimitri bets again here. And he looks like he's going to bet 400. Now, Dimitri is he is a pure gambler. I actually give Mike a lot of credit. I think Mike's a good poker player. And Dimitri actually checked.
He sure has turned into one.
Yeah, and Mo checked. And the deuce on the river is not going to change anything here. Dimitri's got the best hand. Let's see if he bets it for value.
Does Dimitri think he needs to bet this? I don't like that.
Unbelievable.
Wow, and he bet. How much did Dimitri bet
He
there?
bet a lot, and I don't like that bet at all.
He bet- I
his
think
hand was
Dimitri-
good enough just to turn over. I mean, he's only going to get a call from.
But Mo called him.
Mo called him?
Yes.
No way.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out if Mo called or not. Because Dimitri showed the hand. Mo did not call. Dimitri just showed anyway. Right, okay. No, Mo called with ace
What
king.
did he have?
Mo called him with ace king. $900 bet on the river into about a $2,000 pot. The pot was now $2,900. Mo thought he was getting a little bit more than
I
3 to
swear
1 in
there's
money.
something
And
wrong
Mo
with that.
called.
I don't understand.
Ah, okay.
Mo thought, I don't know if you've played with Dimitri or you've seen a lot of him.
No, I haven't. I've only seen the show with him on it like twice. Once, maybe.
I mean, he completely rattles the game. He makes this game huge.
Well,
I mean, you see what he's doing already.
yeah.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with the lovely Shirley Rosario. What a treat. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 10 and 20.
Bart's giving me the evil eye. I got to get out of here. I got to give him his seat back.
Okay. Well, I want to talk to you more about my play. I'm curious of your opinion.
Okay.
on some of the other
Well, you
hands.
know that I always
But we'll
like
talk.
your play because mine and yours is similar, I think.
Yeah, but I'm always curious. Little raise there by Sean, and he takes it down on the river. Actually, bets on the river. Sorry.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure.
And button is in seat 4. Small blind is Dimitri. Big blind is Ruben. And
And we're going
There
to
you go.
all swap mics.
we're going to swap mics.
I am back. We get a raise here by seat number 3, Kunal, with ace-4 of clubs. And a couple callers here.
Hey, Ronnie, do I look handsome here?
Doesn't look like anyone really hit all that much.
You didn't give me like
I'll tell you, you leave for 2 seconds. All I can do is talk to Shirley.
Turn is a 6. Looked like he got checked around on the flop. And now Kunal is going to come out and bet. You know what? He figures my hand might be good with ace high, and it is. And he's going to take that. David, I'm glad you represented the show well, because the last time I was on the hand, last time I was in the game, I was a guinea pig, and you played pretty tight. I mean, you only played a few hands. I thought it was really interesting, and I'm sure you'll go back and listen to the commentary regarding the hand with the set of 9s and the spades, and you actually kind of said what I said without even knowing it.
What did I say?
Basically, you almost would scare yourself off if a spade were to come. You might think that Mike thought you were just on a high spade, and you might just call there and let him bluff into it again on the turn. But it was just a situation where you're going to put all your money in it anyways. You don't want to screw around with it. I mean, maybe you could have played it tricky. It's funny, I wondered, if he does call here and if a spade comes on the turn, if he checked to you, you probably would check behind him. Now, we saw the river card, and excuse me, the turn
What was the
card.
turn of the river?
Turn would have filled you up. It would have been an 8. So, there you go. But Mike didn't have a good hand anyways.
If I had
doesn't
known that,
matter.
if I knew what the turn was coming out, it would have been really easy to play the hand.
It's limped around here.
But I might have just called and let him bluff into me, of
Yeah.
course.
That's what I said. That was one way of playing it. you
Turn
know?
comes out with a full house there, and he checks to me. I'd probably check behind him.
Yeah.
Let him bluff the river.
100.
We have a $100 bet here by Dimitri. Now, Kunal is not in the hand with King 7. And Dimitri is going to come out and bet 100 with 7-9, absolutely nothing. And Bert here is going to call with a straight draw, Dave, right? He does not get there.
He's missed it now, and Dimitri's got the best hand with 9 high.
But he probably doesn't think he's going to have to bet here. And he's probably going to go bet fold, I would imagine. And he's going to take it down.
Now, you and Shirley Shirley and I were here,
Yeah.
and you missed like 4 hands, and Dimitri's just throwing chips on the table.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that's going to change the play. It was nice that you got back your money and won some, and then you could quietly leave so we could get Dimitri in the game. It fit nicely.
It was actually
Yeah.
it was funny. Mo said right when I beat Mike in that hand
Right.
with a set of 9s, Mo even goes, "Well, good. You win that hand. Go get out of here."
Right. Big blind here over to Mo in seat 1, button over there in seat 6. Mike only had like 6-7 that hand offsuit, Dave. He didn't really have a hand.
Yeah, I thought he was probably making a play on me.
I
Which
said,
is
you know,
why
that-
I almost called.
You know, the funny thing, too, is I said, you know what? Mike might have a flush here 5% of the time, but top set can go to war anyways because you're ahead of any other hand.
I mean,
you
the
know?
only thing
and
that-
with outs to a flush, too.
Yeah, the only reason I don't love the play by me, and I'll just throw this at
Yeah.
you, is because by moving in there, by raising at 1,500,
Yeah.
I'm only going to get called by a flush. Or a smaller set.
King, Queen,
I guess.
7 here. We had a raise pre-flop, and it went check, check here on the flop. And now Dimitri's going to bet as it gets checked to him twice, 6 of diamonds on the turn. And Sean is going to lay down jack high. And Dimitri is going to take it down. Dimitri looks like he's up a lot so far, right?
Well, you know what? He lost about, I want to say he lost
Yeah.
about $4,000 right away to Jonas. He was bluffing Jonas, and Jonas made a big call.
Yeah, he made the big call with the middle pair there.
And but he won a big pot off of Mo. Mo called, paid him off with Ace King the whole way.
Ace King, yeah, we saw that too. You know, maybe Mo thought that he was betting spades as well.
Yeah.
You know, didn't get there. Button is over here in scene 8. It's obviously nice to have Shirley on the show.
And that was the first thing I was thinking when I was playing in the game, and I jumped in the game at about 6 o'clock when the game started, and I saw Shirley, and she, unfortunately for her, got knocked out of the tournament. But I looked at her and said, "Hey, can you jump in there and do the commentary for me so I can play the game?"
Yeah.
6-9 against 3-4 here.
Well, Mike's got a flush draw here, and he checked it from up front. Now, Jonas had raised it pre-flop with 3-4, and Jonas has got middle pair here.
Yeah.
Ace 4-10, and he bets. But see if Mike puts in a check raise here with the draw. No, he's just going to check call. Mike is actually a favorite, as you can see. Wow, there's the heart. Now Jonas has 2 pair.
Uh-oh.
And Jonas takes a card here, Dave. And the river here is a 9, and he has probably induced this bluff. I think he's going to call at least.
Well, he's induced a bluff, and obviously it's not a bluff.
Right.
Mike's actually got a real hand.
Mike's going to bet 800 here.
The funniest thing is, now this, I'm going to throw this at you. Because Jonas is a really good player, because Mike's a really good player.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah, he gets a call here.
Wouldn't an overbet there have been a great play?
Mike takes it down with the flush. No, you're right. And again, I don't necessarily, you know, again, you watch players, and Dave, you know, our commentary has just come so far. It's just come so far in terms of where we've been over the last year. And that check by a good player in position on a turn means so much more to me than what it meant a year ago. You know, I would think a year ago, what is Jonas doing? You know, he can't, what if a 4th heart peels off there on the river? I mean, there's all kinds of things going on, the reason why Jonas checks there on the turn. You know?
Yeah. 100. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm wondering though is he's induced that bluff because he knows Mike will bluff at it.
Right.
I'm only wondering how much Jonas would have paid off there. I was trying to show you my hands too. Most of the hands I was getting when Mike was raising, I'd look down, I'd see like King 7.
Actually, the hand where you were kind of laughing with Ace 9, that hand Mike had kings.
Oh, did he get a real hand that time?
Yeah, 5-way action here. It was brought in for a little bit of a raise. And the flop comes Ace 7-3. Actually, it was straddled, so it's limped around.
Yeah.
And it's,
$200 pot now.
Yeah, 5 times 40. Gets checked to Mo, and he's going to bet with Deuce 3.
He's got backdoor heart draw.
Now, Kunal actually has the best hand. He's not going to get involved with Queen 7, and Mo's probably going to take this one down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much basically did you win there?
Looks like I won about, I was in the game for 42.
Right.
And I'm cashing out for, looks like 60, about 64. So I won about 22.
Yeah. That's good. Oh yeah, the funny thing, Dave, is it was hilarious. When around 5 minutes into the show, we keep hearing this phone. I'm like, Shirley, what are you doing? Why aren't you answering your phone? And I pick it up. It's your phone, and it's Melissa.
Did you say hi to her?
No, Isaac picked it up because I know Isaac has a special relationship with your wife.
Oh.
From that night, from not like that, but you
What
know,
kind of
from,
special relationship?
from that Super Bowl.
What's going on
night.
here?
I didn't know if she was calling because she doesn't normally call during the show. She knows you're on the show,
Yeah,
right?
it's really odd. Maybe she knew I was on the show. It's odd.
Ace King suited here for Allen, and it's just going to get limped around here. And I
Probably
believe-
calling the screen at me going, how do you move all your money in with pocket eights, you idiot?
Now look at this. Allen limped in, and Dimitri's in the straddle spot, but there was no raise there by Dimitri out of the straddle spot. And the flop comes Queen 10-8. Bad flop for Ace King suited here. And again, we're looking at a $200 pot. It gets checked around on the flop. The turn's a jack, and Allen's made the nut straight. Now it's a third spade. He's got the Ace King.
Now the interesting here is Ruben has the bottom end of the straight. Cannot beat a king 9, can't beat an ace king, but he's got a 9. Look at Ruben's.
Wow, I'm really surprised. You know, I'm a little bit surprised that Allen didn't pop that up a bit here on the turn. And the river comes 8.
And that's a safe card, but a spade comes up. Ruben actually has the flush.
Yeah. And just a bet and just a call. Again, Allen played that pretty conservatively, obviously.
Really conservatively.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, there are 3 spades out there.
There are 3 spades.
And then
you
the
know
board
what?
pairs.
Right.
The only thing you're playing against a player like Ruben, and you go, will he pay me off with 2 pair? Would he pay me off with a
Well,
9?
I got to tell you also, too, yeah, like you said, you know, you're playing against Ruben, probably the guy that you want to play against. But if you're up against a good player, and for some reason the hand plays out that way, when the board pairs there at the end, I don't think there's any way that you can get called. Your raise can get called by a hand that doesn't beat you there. At
Yeah,
the
I
end,
mean,
right?
the only hand you might get called by is king 9.
Yeah, right.
Only
King nine.
hand I'm trying to think you
Right.
can probably get called by.
Because obviously that beats just a dry 9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the only hand you might get called.
Yeah.
But against Ruben,
Yeah.
who looks
You might
like he'll
get called by
commit
a 9.
chips
Yeah.
with, a little more
What
margin.
did you think
on
about
this.
Allen's overcall all in pre-flop with ace queen suited there, Dave? That was amazing. Funny thing is, I was saying that I couldn't believe that Mike got rid of ace king. If Mike had called you, you guys would not have run it 3 times.
I
You
would've
would've
won the
won
whole
the whole
thing.
thing with pocket eights.
I would have loved it.
Ace king jack here on the flop. After this hand, tell us a little bit of what you're thinking. I don't know if you got. I don't think you got into that hand. Tell us a little bit of what you thought about how you came out and played that hand. Bert's going to lead out here with king queen. Looks like he's probably going to take it down, and he
Well,
does.
first off, I'm actually curious. What do you think of the play?
You know what?
Well, I've got to go back and check it out because I'm really curious what your commentary
You know,
was.
it's almost a situation where I thought that
Remember, I had raised.
right and
in
Mike,
position.
and you when we
After Mike
and
limps
you
in
have
late
seen Mike limp and re-raise a lot. He's been doing it with his big hands, but nowadays I think that going along with what you said, the way the hand played out, and how Mike plays now, I think he's probably more apt to just come out and raise with aces or kings. And I think you probably put him on what he had, which was probably a big ace in that case. And there was a lot of dead money in there. But I have to think that you probably thought that Mike was going to call when you unless you put him on absolutely nothing, right? You thought he was going to call you heads up with ace king, right?
No. I'll
Yeah.
throw this at you in a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got an ace king here by Mike again, and he's going to raise it up to 80 on the button.
Service.
We're about halfway through the show here. Here we go with the flop, king 7 queen. Mike's got top pair here. Dimitri's got bottom pairs. Dimitri's going to stick in there. $220 bet here by Mike. Man, I was shocked when Mike folded it anyways, even though Alan called in between.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it was a good fold by him. He realized
Yeah, yeah.
he knows that, with Alan calling, Alan's probably got an ace also. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he said. He goes, I can't overcall.
Dimitri's going to make the call here. Yeah, I can't believe that Alan put all that money in there with ace queen. It's amazing. Here we go.
I mean,
to
I
the
thought I was
turn.
really representing queens.
Turn is
Minimum.
8. And it goes check, check here. Mike does not bet the turn because he's got the ace of hearts in his hand. And the river here is a queen. I mean, that's another point as to why Mike checked there on the turn. he doesn't necessarily want to get check raised off of a big hand, which he has. He's got top pair and the nut flush draw.
Yeah.
Takes a card. The river's a queen now. And again here, you know what? You wonder. I don't mind the check down there by Mike, unless you think that Dimitri's going to pay you off with a weaker king, because the river paired second pair. And would Dimitri mind if he paid it off with a 7 there on the river?
The scary thing also is you've got to realize that Dimitri is capable of check raising the river
Of
all
a check
in.
raise bluff, right?
He can do that. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes Dimitri is so, he's so out there with his poker and his gambling, you never really know.
Now, I was going to say, I know that you think.
That is hysterical.
Oh, no.
Somebody has photoshopped Bart instead of Heath Ledger in the Brokeback spot. That is hysterical. It actually looks pretty good. I mean,
What I was
That
going
is
to say was,
great.
even though you're a big proponent of not showing your hand down against a guy like Dimitri, I think it's worth it to show your hand down instead of facing a big check race bluff on the river with one pair.
yeah,
right?
I like value betting, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's not always the time to do it. I think I missed a value bet tonight, actually, when I had my pocket nines and the flop was 6, 7, 8, and I checked. I bet the flop, got called in one spot, and then I
Yeah.
checked 2 times. I don't mind the check on the turn, but I probably should have bet the river a couple hundred.
Dimitri's come out and bet 300 here. He's got top pair, king jack. Now, Kunal does not have anything. It was an interesting check there on the river by you as well. You got a big draw. You had an over pair and an open-ended straight draw on the flop, and the ace popped up on the turn. And tell us why you checked the turn. What were you thinking there?
Well, there are a lot of reasons why I checked the turn. One of the reasons was almost the same reason why Mike would check there as well.
Yeah.
I know Mike is capable of putting a big check raise in there.
Right.
If he has, let's say he made 2 pair there.
Right.
Mike is capable of checking there. Let's do a chip count. I'll get it in a second.
So let's take a look here. Ruben is covering the table, and he was almost down to Feld. He's been kind of running lucky here tonight, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at the differences here. See how these players are doing. And Ruben is up over $5,000.
Oh, he's the big winner by far.
Unbelievable. And look at Allen. He's down 4,000, Dave.
Wow, I was in the second spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, this guy he's really, really got that horseshoe going, doesn't he? Unbelievable. We told him about the hand with pocket 8s, the one-outer that he hit against you.
I can't believe he actually called that one. I was just shocked.
6-way action.
I thought for sure. I mean, Shirley was behind me, and I'm looking at
Yeah.
it going, I must be dead. He called me with a weak ace. I'm
Right.
dead. Man, I just couldn't believe what he turned over.
Dimitri's going to come out and bet 300 here. He's got king deuce, top pair, weak kicker, and he's been the table captain here. And Mike is going to get involved here with queen 6, second pair. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 5. And Dimitri's going to come and bet again. He bets 800. Now Jonas called all the way with second pair. Does Mike think his hand is good this time? It's an $800 bet here by Dimitri.
I'm gonna lay down the best. Yeah, what are you talking about? I got a big draw too. Oh yeah, big draw. Yeah, 6-4. I'm open-ended.
Oh, I love it.
Funny.
Actually, you know what? I think that guy is going to put a picture of you in place of
Why? Come on.
What's his name?
I'd much rather be
Gyllenhaal.
I don't want to be Ennis's character. Is that Ennis?
He's asking where to see profiles of Tuck.
Terrible. Anyway, so my thinking on the check there on the turn was if Mike had, say, ace 7, ace 8, which I thought he might have, I don't want to get check raised off my draw. Because if I bet, let's say I bet 800 or 900 on the turn, and Mike moves all in, I still got $4,000. I don't think I can call that. So I see the river. I also inducing a bluff. I thought there was a chance that Mike would bluff the river, and I was prepared to pay him off if he hit his hand.
Mike is going to raise it up here to 80 here with queen deuce. Dimitri's in there with 6-4. Seed 8's in there with 3-5. And Allen's in there with jack 7. And the flop comes out queen 8-3, and Mike has hit top pair. Brought it in with queen deuce suited, and he's going to bet 320 here.
You're like me, man. Just put money in the game. Forget what you have.
And
Yeah.
fold. I want to read this email here for a second, Dave. Email here from Mike Feineman. Great playing, Dave. Why did you leave the game? I really enjoyed watching you play. I don't know why, but I would bet you're light years ahead of Bart as a player. What do you think? Are you?
I don't think so.
When Bart was playing on the show, you looked like a deer caught in headlights with all the action in front of him, but not you. Well, I think you did play well, Dave. I got to ask you,
a
though,
much different game, though, than
I was
I
going to
played.
say, you know, the funny thing is that how the night would have changed if you lost that pocket 8 hands. Would you have continued to rebuy, or that would have been it for you? if you with the eights. And
If I lost all 3 times?
yeah, or if something had happened where, say, Mike had overcalled and there was one bet.
And I lost.
Yeah. Would that have been it for you?
Probably,
Yeah, that would. I mean, you can tell a one hand is going to turn the night there.
Course,
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, the game you played was a lot bigger.
Yeah.
There was more like, because Barry Woods was to your left.
Yeah.
The game played a lot bigger, much different game.
We had a little raise here by, it looked like, Dimitri to 120 with ace-3 suited here.
Well, Mo's got the best hand here.
Yeah, 9-4 here.
Two pair there, 9 to
Well, it goes checked around here, and now the turn's jack.
Well, Mo's still in the lead, but hard for him to know that.
Checked around again, and now the river's an ace.
Getting worse and worse for Mo. And this is the kind of thing, most players would check this if they're Dimitri, if they're players. Dimitri might bet this.
With the ace-3.
Yeah.
Because you figure, you know what, you're not going to get necessarily called. I mean, I would probably check this if I was
Of
in this
course,
spot.
most players would.
But the funny thing for Dimitri is, why not bet if you think you ever get called for someone thinking you're going to bluff?
It's amazing.
Is your wife calling you again?
No, this is unknown.
Oh.
I got to turn this phone off. I apologize.
The button moves over here to seat 9. So the other thing about the 8 hand was, did you actually think that raising there might get Mike off of 9s, 10s, or jacks as well?
Well, that's the thing. I thought Mike had one of these. Say, I'll give you like 6 hands that I thought Mike might have. I thought he might have 6s, 7s, 9s, 10s, ace king, ace queen, or ace jack.
Possibly jacks too.
And those are the 7 hands. I didn't think jacks. I thought he would have raised jacks pre-flop.
Yeah. Ace, deuce, 8 here. Mike's going to come out and bet here with a weak ace, and Dimitri also has an ace. He's got aces up. And let's see how he's going to play it here. He's got 2 pair.
And Mike is in really bad shape here. I mean,
and he's going to seat 5 raises. I love the raise, Dave. This is great. This is great stuff from
and Mike is in terrible shape here. I mean, he's running 7.
And we saw Mike not be able to get away from an ace against a tight player on Wednesday. Is he ever going to get away from this hand against Dimitri?
He might re-raise this.
I mean, Dimitri has played this great, this hand. And Mike is going to make the call. We've quickly got about an $800 pot here as we go to the turn.
Oh, my.
And Dimitri fills up.
That's actually a safe card for Mike.
Oh, and the river here is a deuce. And we got a check. And let's see, obviously
The turn
Dimitri's
card is
probably
actually a
gonna
bad card for Dimitri, believe it or not, because Mike now suddenly can't beat an 8. He
Right.
couldn't beat, he couldn't beat an ace before, really. Now he can't beat an 8.
But look at this. He bet 600, and Mike calls.
Well, 600, he priced him in there. I mean, it's 600 for a $1,400 pot.
What I was going to say was that he can't beat an 8 or a deuce.
Can't beat an 8, can't beat a deuce, and really can't beat an ace.
Well, and I'll say it just, about this hand, just like I'll say it any other time. I would have put money in on the turn if I had ace 8 there. Just to build yourself a pot so that you can make a bigger bet on the river.
Right, you put 400 on the turn,
yeah.
test.
Yeah.
The 8 really is a scare card for Mike, because you go, wait a second, is Dimitri raising with an 8? Because then he got there.
No, I keep, and the other thing, too, is I see good players, Dave.
Do you know how much you slowed down the game when you asked for setup? You slowed the game down so much.
I see, Bud moves over here to see one. I see good players do it all the time, too. Actually, I was playing with a guy that I respect in a 5-10 game. We were talking about, I was kind of making fun of him because I thought he said he had the nut straight on the turn. He's like, well, if I had the nut straight, I wouldn't bet. Why would I bet? And I'm like, the pot's $50 on the turn. Why would you bet?
that?
Wouldn't you put money in the pot?
I mean, the only case, when you're playing against Mike, some of the conventional wisdom goes out the door because Mike you might induce a bluff.
Right,
and
right,
Mike
right.
might have nothing.
Right.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why, I'll tell you, with a set of 9s there, when it was 3 spades, against almost everybody else, it's an easy raise.
Right.
But against Mike, I actually thought about, do I just smooth call
Right.
and hope he can't get there?
Right.
Hope he doesn't get there. And they're getting very inventive on the 2+2 thread, I got to tell you.
Yep.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. You're watching No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 10 and 20. You can catch us every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. I want to thank our lovely, wonderful producer for letting me play in the game.
Lovely. Dave, I got to tell you.
If I had lost, I'd have different words.
I got to tell you, I can't wait to get out there tonight because, again, this Friday used to be double fist Friday for me, but now playing Omaha High-Low limit game, I have no problem drinking and playing that game. I don't do it no limit. I think there's a big difference. We've actually had gone over this before. I can have some fun tonight. Button moves over here to C2.
What is the game? 30-60 again?
Yeah,
Omaha?
30-60, yeah.
30-60 Omaha. Wow.
And again, the reason why I say that too is because I still think that limit tends to almost play itself, especially in a high-low game. It's just
Well, Omaha also, you've got so much experience playing Omaha high-low that, even a little drunk, you're probably light years ahead of most players.
this is interesting. We've got like 15 names on the board, but we've got 4 people or 5 people at the table.
I don't mind this actually because it kind of changes the game now. Suddenly, Mike and Dimitri are up. Jonas is up, and let's see how this game plays now.
Yeah.
Suddenly, can Mo now with players like Bert at the table and Sean and
got
stuff
ace king.
Well, I was wondering maybe can Mo run this table over now?
He's gonna raise it up to 50. Button makes the call. And we're gonna see 3-way action here. Small raise by Allen. And C2 is in there. Kunal is actually not in the hand. C2's in there with 8-5 of diamonds.
Well, he's got the best hand actually right now.
Yep, Jack, 5, Jack.
Sean's got the best hand, and it's got checked to him. Allen did not do a continuation bet.
He's going to bet 140 here. Ruben is not going to get involved. It's funny. I was at probably one of the worst 5-10 no limit games this afternoon. Dave.
I saw,
the lineup. It was just a pitiful lineup.
Really tight.
It was really tight, and the problem was that I was
You
trying
couldn't
to
run it over?
Well, I was trying to do that, but every time I did it, I got called or I got raised, and it was not my day. I wasn't hitting anything,
It's tough also. I've noticed that if it's a really tight lineup and it's a full game, it's hard to run a table over like that.
Right.
Because, it's more likely somebody's going to have a hand.
Right.
Now, if it's 6 or 7-handed or 5-handed, hey, and it's a tight lineup, I love that.
No, but you saw that. It was just a pitiful game.
Yeah, it really was a...
Yeah.
I mean...
Ace-King over here for seat 8.
Nobody was going to put money in the pot without the nuts.
$120 raise here by seat 8. It's Jonas. And Dimitri's got Jack 10 off. He's going to make the call. Going to look at about a $250 pot here going heads up between Jonas and the big blind Dimitri. No one had any piece of this. Let's see how Jonas is going to play this one. Looks like he's chomping on a balance bar, Dave.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I really like Jonas. Good guy. And he's an excellent poker player.
And he's going to bet here. And Dimitri is not going to get involved with him.
I mean, Jonas is quietly up, I want to say, probably $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah. I think he actually had a bad night on Wednesday. He actually wasn't on the show, but came afterwards. And I think he ended up losing about 8,000, yeah. Button moves over here to seat 5. Yeah, I kind of slowly lost about $600 over the course of the afternoon in that game.
Just kind of bled it.
Yeah, it was just...
Yeah, the slow drip. Yeah, sometimes those games...
Awful game.
If the game is full and it's real tight, it's not a game that I'm looking to go... I mean, if the game is real tight and passive, I really want it to be short-handed. And if the game is crazy like this, well, then I want it to be a full game.
Right.
That just suits my style of poker the best.
And sometimes that 3 to 5 game in the afternoons is like that, or it seems like it's always like that.
Yeah.
3-way action here, limped around. 10 deuce 3 rainbow here. Turns a 9, does not help anyone. Checked around once again.
River's 9.
Ruben and Allen are going to chop this one up if it goes to showdown, and it does.
Yeah, both, obviously, both players have the ace, and there's 6 actually plays. Both players have pair of 9s, 10, ace, 6.
Why did you drop the jackpot one right away, but you leave that one to drop after the hit? The rules. I was curious. Is that the rule?
I got to tell you one thing, though. This is for sure. It's a lot easier to play poker from inside here when I see everybody's cards than out there.
You cannot notice it. But you can drop the jackpot.
You know what I mean? It's one thing to know that Mike is full of crap and he's bluffing every time, but it's another thing to pull the trigger and actually come over the top.
Button moves over to seat 6.
Ooh, and Ruben's got aces, a couple of red ones in the small blind.
Let's see if we've got any other...
Well,
And look at this. Dimitri's saying, hey, Ronnie, I'm playing this hand blind.
You saying something?
He's got 6-7 offsuit. He's going to limp in blind.
I made them look.
Oh, I thought maybe he'd raise him blind.
See what Ruben's going to do here.
No.
Pretty family pot. Everybody's limped here, Dave.
Yeah, well, Ruben's going to raise it up here. The last time Ruben raised out of the blind, he had kings.
200 more.
I
He's going
noticed
to
that at
make
the table.
it 200 more, so 220, 200 more for these guys to call. And you know what? Dimitri, he might call here. I mean, Ruben's deep. And, hey, you might want to call anyways in position against this guy with 6-7.
Well, yeah, I mean, now suddenly this guy's probably got close to $7,000, $8,000.
Yeah, yeah.
I said I'm gonna.
Hey,
And I don't think that Dimitri has looked at his hand. He said he is playing it blind here.
and he called him blind.
He's going to call him blind, so we've got about a $500 pot here. Here we go.
Well, he's got a draw here. He's got a double gutter, folks.
Wow, yeah, he's flopped a double gutter, 9-5-3, a 4 or an 8. Now you wonder, he still hasn't looked at his hand.
No, I said to the turn.
And he's going to make the call. Well, he said he still hasn't looked at his hand. He's got a huge draw. He's in essence open-ended.
Yes.
Well, the turn is a jack.
Still not
So-
there.
And now Ruben's
And he
going to jack.
checks.
And now Dimitri says, well, I'm going to look at my cards. And you wonder if Dimitri can correctly realize that he's got the double gutter.
Yeah,
Again,
I mean-
those are sometimes hard to find.
I got to tell you, it's one thing about playing poker a lot. It's one thing
Takes
that
a card. Here we go to the river.
Ah.
No.
Oh, that would have been beautiful.
Yeah.
That would have really been beautiful.
But now, Dimitri is totally missed. Is he going to try to bluff some money off here?
It looks like he's going to. Looks like he's going to try to bluff, and I don't think Ruben's going to go anywhere.
No,
And
there's no way.
And it looks like somebody else is going to give Ruben money.
I mean, at this point, the way you played this, I think Dimitri should just give up here.
Ruben's kind of playing it like he has, almost playing it like he has tens. I mean, he
Yeah.
raised pre-flop, he bet the flop, and then he checked the turn in the river.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Dimitri
Dimitri's-
wisely checks there.
Smart play. Well, Dimitri got a free ride there.
Oh, you know what? I mean, if that 4 comes on the turn, and Dimitri plays it hard like he has been, and he should be, and he pops it or bets big, he could have all of Ruben's money.
Yes, he could.
Because Ruben is not the type of player. I mean, I saw him call Dave when I came back into the booth against Bert, all in with one pair, ace queen against
Yeah.
Bert. You know what I mean?
And I actually liked Bert's game. I thought Bert
Yeah.
misplayed the hand against that player. I didn't think there was much fold equity against that player.
Yeah.
And when you bet and you got called, you got to know that this guy has probably got an ace.
Yeah,
Probably should have put out a little blocker bet on the turn.
yeah,
And I don't think Ruben would have sensed that it was a blocker bet, and he probably would have just called with the ace
Yeah,
queen.
yeah.
Could have named your price to hit your draw. And then if you hit on the river, okay. If you don't hit on the river, probably check it down.
I was leading on an ace queen.
But by check raising a player that's not going to fold, hey,
not
fold
going to
equity's out.
fold an ace.
Yeah,
Fold an ace.
the fold equity's out, and now you're down to 12 outs.
Kunal is going to mix it up here and bring this one in for a small raise with King 5 of clubs. Dimitri's in there and Allen's in there. $70. Here we go.
Well, he's hit top pair, but Allen is open-ended.
160.
Well, Kunal's going to lead for 160 here.
Imagine Allen's going to at least call this.
2 spades out there. Allen's got backdoor spade possibilities.
Rarely
as
do
well.
you see Allen raise with a draw.
And the funny thing here, for Kunal, if any type of scary card comes, I can't imagine he's going to put more money in the pot. 4. Allen checks, and Kunal still might check, and he does.
He does.
He does check the turn. And the river here
Wow,
is
it makes
5.
two pair.
Well, now this one is definitely probably worth betting.
Oh, that
Yeah.
definitely. Because you can beat a bigger king.
Absolutely.
Remember, ace king here has kings and
Yeah,
fours. You
yeah.
have kings and fives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new aspect of my game actually I've learned. Sometimes you can call if the board is somewhat scary. Like, let's say the board is king 4-4, okay? But there's a flush, and you have a flush possibility.
Right.
Sometimes you can call the bet on the flop because it almost looks like you might have a 4, and oftentimes you get a free river.
Right.
By just calling the flop bet.
Yeah, free river. Yeah. Funny thing is you were on the table, and I don't know if you saw the hand, but Jonas had raised on the button, and he was hands up with seat number 7, which was Ruben. And the flop came 10 high. It came 10-9 blank.
Okay.
Ruben bet the flop, and Jonas called. The turn was a blank. Ruben bet the turn, and Jonas raised. Do you
Yeah.
remember that hand?
I do. I mean, obviously we didn't see the hand,
Yeah.
but I saw Jonas raised up to 900.
Yeah. And it was an interesting hand. I wonder what you think Jonas might have had, or what kind of things you think he would do that with the move with. We got a $150 raise here by Jonas with pocket 5s. Allen's got pocket 10s. He's going to make the call. Another case where Allen, I think, sometimes misses a little bit. You know, that hand in the small blind is probably good enough to re-raise a button raiser, don't you think? 10.
A button raiser, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
Jonas being the button raiser.
Yeah. And Dimitri's in there with Jack Deuce suited. Here we go, $600 four ways.
Well, hey, not a bad flop for tens there.
Well, Allen's open-ended.
He does not have the best hand right now, but he's got a draw.
Now, and Jonas, it does not. He kind of wisely figures, you know what? I can't bet this flop,
Yeah.
David. Just too connected.
Now, the scary thing for Allen, actually, is if a king comes off, Ruben would have the higher straight.
And now Dimitri's going to come out and bet with what is the best hand, Jack Deuce.
450.
I'm surprised Ruben did not bet it. I guess he was checking to the razor, which often
Right.
happens.
Well, Ruben again, he's open-ended, but with the good king, like you say, like if the king comes here, and he's in there, and Allen's in there, he make a lot of money from Allen.
You know, it's funny. You were just talking about it the last couple of nights about raising on the button with small pocket pairs, and
Yeah.
often getting to see a turn for free as well.
Right,
You get
right.
to see 6 cards instead of just 5.
Right. Or you get to see 4 board cards.
4
instead
board
of
cards,
3.
right.
Right. Yeah, and Jonas is not gonna. He's not
No,
gonna stick
didn't-
around there. But Allen is.
And
He's gonna
Allen
call.
needs a 10, a king, or an 8, folks.
Yep.
There's only one 10 left.
And the river is a 6.
Not going to get there. Allen checks it. And look at this. And Dimitri bets again. You never know. Is Dimitri betting for value or is he betting as a bluff? I mean, I have no idea.
What you know, it's unbelievable. You would watch it, and I will know, Dave, too, in a game that Dimitri really like you said, he mixes it up. He bets marginal hands. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to know what he has.
Yeah.
It really is. It makes it very difficult to play against a guy who does not care about the money. He's here to have a good time. He's here to gamble. And he might not know what he has. So how do you know?
So get back to that Jonas hand. What do you think about what
Oh,
that
man.
kind of
You
play
know,
could
I
be?
wasn't in the hand, so
Yeah.
I wasn't super 100% focused on it. I probably
Yeah.
should have been.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Jonas was slow playing something decent on the flop. I think he might have had a pair and he picked up a draw on the turn, but I don't know, to be honest with you.
Well, he
What did
actually
he have?
actually had king queen. He had overs and a gut shot on the flop. He made a smooth call. When the turn card came blank, he popped the guy.
So he had
And-
nothing. It's just overcards and a gut shot.
Overcards and a gut shot, and the other guy had jack 10. See, the other guy had the best hand. It was an interesting hand.
And the flop was what?
It was 10-9-3 with 2 diamonds. And my only thing was that do you think that Jonas
And
would
Ruben
have
threw away
Jack
top
10,
pair?
yeah, on the turn with a blank. My question to you is, would Jonas have played an overpair in that manner with a connected board heads up? That's the only thing I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
You know, queen 6-3
Yeah,
there.
I mean, the only reason I didn't think he was bluffing, I actually thought he had a real hand, and I just didn't think he would bluff Ruben. I didn't think he would try to bluff Ruben.
Well, Jonas bets here with queen jack, and Mo's going to call with middle pair. And we're heads up here. The turn's an ace. Queen jack against deuce 6. And now Mo comes out and bets on the ace. He bets 300 here. And Jonas is going to pop him up. He's going to make it 700, and Mo gets away. Love it when those two go heads up.
Well, they're just playing, they're playing
Yeah.
a whole different
Whole
brand
nother,
of poker.
whole nother level, right?
Oh, yeah, they're just playing, it's like, well, what's he thinking? I'm thinking that he's
Right.
thinking I'm thinking.
Right. I mean, you're looking at two of the best guys probably out there right now. You want to say maybe even in the world in terms of no-limit cash games. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know the whole world, but
the top echelon. I mean, we know a lot of the no-limit cash players in L.A.
Yeah.
That represents a good portion of all of them out there.
well,
you know?
LA is definitely the poker
Yeah.
capital of the world, and,
Yeah.
and I would put Mo up against the best of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not as familiar with Jonas's game, but I really like Jonas's game as well.
Yeah.
It's surprising, I thought Jonas actually had a real hand there, only because he was playing against Ruben. I didn't think he would try to bluff Ruben.
Well, even though, I mean, even a guy that, necessarily doesn't get bluffed, I mean, ace queen, when he made that call, is still a lot different from jack 10 on that other board. Jack 10 is not that strong.
No, it's not, but I mean,
Yeah.
everybody else lays that down. He might make that move against me with Jack 10. Yeah, I'll throw it away also.
Look at this. Dimitri flops the second nut flush, and he bets it right out, and he shows it. I love the way Dimitri's been playing so
Why
far.
doesn't Ruben call with eights this time?
Right. I mean, was Ruben pretty much all in at that time when he made that call?
No, I was all in. I mean, the pot was like, I want to say the pot was probably 900.
Yeah.
And I bet maybe 570 into it, 560, whatever it was, 500, something like that.
email here from Matt Green. He says, great show tonight. Just wanted to mention, I disagree that Tuckman is years ahead of Bart. Bart is by far the superior player. However, the only way to find this out is 100, 200 no-limit heads-up freeze-out for total bankrolls between both players.
You know, why don't we just do mud wrestling?
Right.
My daddy can beat up your daddy.
Matt Green. Kunal is going to bring this one in for a raise. Kunal has pretty much just kind of played on the short stack the whole night so far.
Pocket 9s for Allen.
You know, I don't mind Kunal's game either. He just kind of plays it tight ABC, which in this game isn't necessarily all that bad.
It's fine as long as you're willing to bet some of your draws as well. I mean, I remember there was one hand I actually took down with Queen Jack.
Right.
Flop came out King 10 blank.
Right.
You've got to use your tight image to take down some flops like that.
So Kunal brought this one in with Ace 4, and he's going to get several callers here. Dimitri calls with a suited connector. And look at this. Allen's going to pull the limp re-raise all in on the short stack with pocket 9s. And you know what? In this case, in his stack size, I don't mind the play.
Allen's been doing that a lot. I saw him last night go all in with Ace Queen. I still can't get over the fact that he actually called my all in with Ace Queen.
Let's see how much more it is here. It's over 1,000. You know, the funny thing is that he's making this move 1,080, and there is already about 500 or 600 dead money. I don't mind the play at all.
Allen. It's a great play by Allen.
Kunal cannot call.
Yeah. You know, when you get a razor and then you get 3 or 4 callers in there, the 3 or 4 callers are basically they're telling you, I've got a decent hand, but not a real strong hand.
Right.
So you know they're not going to call.
Now, do you think that Dimitri might call here with suited connector?
He might, just because he's a pure gambler.
Yeah.
But you don't mind. Hey,
yeah.
I got to tell you, I would be thrilled for Dimitri to call me here.
Oh, this is as good a shape as you possibly can have.
Allen's even got the 9 of hearts in his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got straight card.
And the other thing, like you said, he's got straight blockers.
Yeah, he's blocking straights. He's blocking flush. I mean, it'll be really interesting. Unfortunately, our software doesn't actually do pre-flop percentages. You can go to the Pokulator, though. Go to liveatthebike.com on the left-hand side and check out the Pokulator. So I'm curious. 7-8 of hearts versus 9-9 there with the 9 of hearts. Heads up. What do you think?
Dimitri's trying to negotiate with Bert, saying, Jonas is saying, oh, look at this. This is funny. Jonas is going to flip a coin. If Dimitri calls it right, he's going to call or fold. And he makes the call. He makes the call. He called heads, and it came up heads.
And Bert's, this is an easy laydown for Bert here.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is pure gamble. And Allen's going to get a gift.
What is Bert thinking about?
I don't know. Bert's not that deep.
Bert's just putting players on. The problem is there's just too many overcards out there. You don't want that many callers.
Yeah.
Well, Bert is down. You wonder if maybe he's steaming a little bit, and he's looking for a way to get back really quick. But pocket 3s here, folks. I mean, come on, even if Dimitri's got ace-jack and Allen's got, say, king 10, you're up against 4 overcards. You just can't do this. You can't call this. You're only getting 2-1 on your money. Clearly not enough to hit a set.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what?
Yeah.
This is no-brainer stuff here. You know, it's funny. Bert is kind of being mentored by Mo. Yeah. Mo's kind of brought him under his wing, and you know, I can see sometimes Mo kind of gives him private lessons somewhat. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does, and Bert's, you know, 9 out of 10 times he's a real solid player. I'm not quite sure what he's thinking about here. This is.
This is not a math problem at all. I mean,
this is a no-brainer.
I mean, if Bert had ace king here,
oh,
if he's short, then of course you can call. But here you got pocket 3.
Ace king, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Actually, I might call because 2 players are in there.
Right. This is unbelievable, Dave. Bert's gonna make the call.
Yeah, that's just.
I don't know what is going on. I got to ask Mo about that one. Tell him.
Pot is about $3,000.
I mean, I don't know.
Actually, the pot is $3,500.
This is amazing.
Oh, there's a 9.
Oh, Allen is. I mean, unless Dimitri makes a running straight here.
Or running hearts.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say Bert is almost drawing dead. I mean, Bert.
And I guess Bert has some money on the side, so they're going to check it on the side here. Well, the turn here is an 8.
And they're both drawing dead.
Yeah, it's over. Allen's going to win it here with a set of 9s. Rivers is 6.
Well, I got to tell you, if that was the flop, I like Dimitri's hand.
Yeah.
If it was reversed, folks, if it was 9-8-6.
And look at this. It gets checked to Bert, and he's going to bet on the side here, Dave. He's going to bet 600 into a dry side pot. I don't know. I mean, does he think that 3s are going to win in a showdown with Allen? I mean, I guess if Allen had ace king here.
Well, I mean, this is my own thinking. If Allen's got ace-king,
and Dimitri has a better pair.
and you can get to – oh, Dimitri's going to call.
Yeah, Dimitri makes the call.
I was going to say, if you can get Dimitri off of, like, say, fives.
I got to take a look at what – let me see Mo's face after this hand. Let's see if Bird ever shows it. I got to take a look at Mo and be like, what?
You
Look at that.
Yeah. I didn't teach him that.
Yeah.
I don't teach him that. What is he doing? I can't believe that.
I don't know. You know what? Mo is telling me that I think Bert has a little bit of a steam factor in him too, Dave.
You think?
Yeah.
A little bit?
That's amazing.
You know what pisses me off, too? Bird actually won the first hand of the night versus me. I had kings there also. The flop came out Jack 10-8 with 2 clubs. I bet with my kings. He raised me. I hated my hand right away. Okay, I checked the turn. The turn brought out like a 7, so it was a one-liner to a straight, so I couldn't even beat a 9 now. I checked, and he moves all in. So I threw away my kings, and he showed me a set of jacks.
Yeah.
And like I said, Bert, 95% of the time, Bert is a good player. He's solid. But if the other 5% of the time you're going to let your emotions get the best of you,
Steam off money. Forget about it.
look at it. I mean, he played good for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and then in the span of 15 minutes, lost all his money to 3 players.
I gotta get on Mo. I mean, I'm not necessarily gonna say, Mo, what are you teaching this guy? But I gotta ask him. I'm gonna be. And the funny thing though too is Mo actually told me a story about something that happened. He was giving Bird advice, and this is kind of interesting too.
Mo re-raised, by the way, and took it down with ace-king.
This is interesting too, and I never really thought about this before. In a limit game, Dave, if you're ready to leave, something's going to happen. I mean, Dave, you and I have to get out because we have to go do the show.
Yeah.
Usually you're going to wait for your blind.
Right.
You want those extra free hands. In a no-limit game, if you're not mentally there and you're ready to get up, say 3 spots off of the under the gun, get up.
Yeah.
Don't play.
Mo actually told me. It was funny.
And Mo just told me today, and it's a great thing that Mo has said. And the reason why he told me the story was because he told Bert, I think it was yesterday afternoon, Bert went and played in the game. And
Raise here from Sean, sorry.
Before one hand before Bert was going to get up, he went broke. $5,000 broke before he got up.
And you know what? It's not a coincidence here. Sean had raised it up with ace-queen offsuit.
Yeah.
Mike is not in the game, which is one of the reasons why the action has kind of slowed down a little bit. Sean takes it down pre-flop. It's a great advice.
Yeah.
Because you got to realize it's not a coincidence that you go broke there. Your focus is somewhere else.
Right.
And when you're playing no limit hold'em, especially deep stack no limit hold'em, your focus, 100% of your focus has to be at the table.
Yeah.
Has to be on your opponents, has to be on your game. And if it's not, then you shouldn't be playing. Mo actually told me I was, racking up my chips and selling them to Dimitri.
Yeah.
And Mo even said, don't even look.
Right.
And the only thing I said, I go, if I have aces, I'm going to move all in, otherwise I'm folding.
Right.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And I didn't wait till my big blind, but it's great advice.
You did or you didn't?
I did not.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, right?
Look at this board we got.
Yeah.
Crazy. Everybody wants to get in on the action now. Mo's got pocket 3s.
And look at this, Ruben, he's getting up, and I think he's a little bit overmatched. I think this is probably one of the best moves he's made all night.
Getting
up from the table, yeah.
Taking his $5,000 profit and going. Yeah.
Jonas is going to raise it up here with an ace rag suited at 150. Allen makes the call with ace 10.
Yeah. Well, he raised in the cutoff seat to buy himself the button. It didn't work, and Allen's got him dominated. And we're going 3 ways. Pot's about $500, folks.
Yep. Here we go. Well, deuce 4-5. Let's see if Mo throws a bet out. Mo's going to move all in here right off the bat. And Mo is exposing about $5,000 here. I mean, this is unbelievable.
By ace 3 hearts, I call you.
He's exposed $5,000 here, and Jonas, I think, hasn't covered. Well, actually, you know what? He doesn't have quite that amount, but sometimes Mo does this, and I got to tell you, I don't like it. I like Mo's game, but we've seen it happen. Why would you expose a lot of money like that? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
The only thing I can think of, obviously, he's risking $5,000 to win $500. Okay,
right.
Obviously, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that's not smart.
Right.
I think there's a reason beyond that, though. I think Mo does that to kind of make him look like the gambler. He figures, okay, these guys aren't going to call me. There's no way they're going to call me. And if they call me at 7s or 8s or 10s or jacks, okay, well, I still have outs.
Well, it looks like we got 3 seats that are open, but again, we've got a really big board, so I don't know what.
The only point I will point out is against even pocket kings there, Mo's got 12 outs. No, I'm sorry, he's got 8. He's got 11 outs. I apologize.
Live straddle here by Jonas. Well, the game's a little bit short right now. Hey, look at all the Broadway out here. We're playing about 5-handed. Tons of Broadway. Jonas has got garbage in the straddle spots. Family pots, all 6 players in the hand. Here we go. Wow, Queen 6-4. Dimitri's got top 2 pair here.
Sean's got the flush draw possibility.
And Sean is going to come out and bet.
Yeah.
He bets 9. Let's see if Dimitri pops him. He has been popping him with his good hands. $150 bet here. Well, this time he's just going to make the call here, Dave. No one else has a queen.
And it's funny, last time when he wasn't in danger at all,
Yeah.
he raises it up. This time he's actually in danger and he smooth calls.
Oh,
There it is.
boy, turns a club. And Dimitri's got the queen of clubs. And Sean checks. And Dimitri's going to bet. He's going to bet 500 here, it looks like. And Sean has got him here. Now,
Yeah, his
Dimitri
second
has
nut flush here.
outs to the full house. That's why he's got a 9% chance of winning this hand. He could catch a queen or a 6 here on the river.
Yeah.
And Sean just check calls, Dave.
Wow.
He's just going to make the check call. Here we go to the river. Oh, the river's a club, which might kill some of Sean's action. But it goes check, check on the river. That's unbelievable how Sean played that hand.
Yeah, he played it really, really
Maybe
strangely.
he scared himself away on the river, too. I mean, he could have probably had all of Dimitri's money on the turn, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Dimitri had 2 pair, and he had the second nut flush draw.
Yeah, you
Don't
wonder.
you think?
Does Dimitri go anywhere? I don't know.
I mean, you're talking about even if you're up against a smaller flush.
I agree
You
with
know,
you. I'm just wondering.
yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, we'll never
You
know.
really got off the hook there on that one.
I mean, I certainly do a mini raise at least, and maybe you don't move all in, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know, Dimitri bets at 5 makes 500. Why not make it 12 or 1300?
Right.
You know, he'll call 700. Then the river comes out. Okay, bet another 1,000.
Right.
I mean, I definitely think Sean left probably, you know, somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500 to $2,000 on the table. Yeah, see, that doesn't look nearly as good, Jay Bird. I'm sorry. I mean, you look like a natural cowboy there. Mine looks a little doctored up there.
Raised here by Sean with 8-10 of spades. And Dimitri and Jonas are in the hand.
Surprise, surprise.
And Sean flops a spade draw. And
Dimitri's
Dimitri's
got
going
the
to
best
come out and bet with
The best hand again.
He's going to bet 150. Jonas folds. Let's see how Sean's going to play it. He was the pre-flop raiser. Is he going to pop it or just smooth call?
Well, this is similar to last hand. Dimitri has the best hand. Sean has a flush draw. Let's see how it's played.
Flush draw and 1 over card.
Right, but he doesn't know his 10 is good.
Right.
He also has backdoor, I want to say like backdoor straight possibility with the 9 out there.
He makes the call. Oh, the spade comes on the turn, and Sean's
Yeah.
got him. Dimitri checks,
Didn't somebody say you're only supposed to make your flush like 1 out of 3 times?
and Sean bets. 300.
And this time Sean bets his flush.
Well, he's got to bet there. I mean, are you kidding me?
Well, he didn't bet the king. I don't
Look at
know.
that. Dimitri folds. There you go.
Oh, he's in position this time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Dimitri gets away from it. I mean, Dimitri's also, he's a local businessman. He's also a very smart guy. He's not stupid, but he's here to have a good time. He knows when he puts his money in with 7-8 hearts, he knows that he's a long shot to win.
Let me ask you a question. And I know that, Donna, the floor host, does an absolutely great job, and it's not her fault.
Got
And
Corey in seat number
this
7.
is not just this table. Why does it take so long sometimes to get players to the table?
Well, right now the casino is so busy that there's so many players running around that a lot of the floormen are busy doing other things.
Ah, I see.
I mean, it's not like the floormen are sitting on their ass doing nothing. They're probably filling up another table. We have 2 seats open here? Oh, Kunal left too, huh?
Yeah. Mo's going to make it 120 here to go with ace-4 offsuit.
I mean, the funny thing is, this is a 10-20 no-limit game, but with Dimitri and Mike in the game, it plays more like a 25-50 game.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Certainly 20-40.
And again, Mike has been away from the table for a while here. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
I don't know what to do with you. I have to remind you every hand. Come on, it's not that difficult.
Button moves over here to...
You know what it is, Dimitri? It's muscle memory.
And that's Corey there in
Yeah.
seat 7.
I will put them.
He's got the button.
And we're playing 5-handed as Alan has now walked away.
And
from
once
the
in a
game.
while, unfortunately, Mike's got to take breaks because he does work on the
Yeah.
other side. So he's probably over there, and we do give him the leniency because he is such a loyal live device player.
Three-way action here. Jack 5-3, all diamonds here.
Yep, all diamonds.
Jonas has got the only diamond.
Well,
And he's got a wheel draw.
Yeah, he's in great shape. And he's got the best hands. But Dimitri's going to bet it. He's got absolutely nothing.
And this is funny because I think that we have Keith coming into the game. If it's the same Keith, Dave,
Yeah, it is.
I've been playing with him pretty much every day for the last month. He's really, really tight, puts a lot of money on the table, but he's not going to commit chips without the nuts. He's kind of the opposite of action, but it's going to be interesting to see some of his cards. And he said, I don't really like playing on live bike. I don't want to see my cards, but he said if the game is good enough, I'll play. And I think he
I
likes
guess
this
the game
lineup.
is good enough.
Yeah.
The interesting thing with Keith is he'll try to see a lot of flops for cheap.
He limps in with a ton of hands.
But unfortunately, at this table, he's not going to be able to limp in with because almost every flop is either raised, especially when Mike sits down.
Yeah. Keith is actually telling me he's from Northern California, from the San Jose area. He was telling me about a game, I forget at which casino, that pretty much the last 15 years was the only no-limit game in the country. I mean, it wasn't even a no-limit game in Vegas. It was up there, something. Again, I don't remember the card room.
Yellow chip, forget them. These are to block the dealer from putting the cards on the window.
And it's limped around here.
That's half hour.
5 ways, I want to say? Or 4 ways.
5 ways. We can't see Corey's hand in seat 7. Flop comes out deuce 3-9. Keith has got a gut shot to the 5 here.
And Corey's going to toss $100 in there. We cannot see his hand, though. He's got Jack now. He's got King 9.
King 9, top pair.
Top pair, pretty good kicker.
Mo has got a wheel draw. He folds.
Yeah, and I imagine this is
I
going to
don't know
fold
what
around
Dimitri is waiting for here.
And this will be. I'm really curious to see how Keith plays in this game because he's a pretty solid player. But unless he makes a stand once in a while, he might get run over when Mike comes in this game.
Right.
Or unless he hits a lot of big hands.
Got about, maybe 40 minutes left in the show here. 40 minutes left in the week, Dave. Really looking forward to getting into that Omaha game.
And are you going to play on Sunday's event as well at 300, or are you going to play tomorrow?
No, I think I'm going to play Sunday.
You are going to play Sunday.
Because like I said, the way that I was doing it, actually, there's Patrick over there in seat 3. We really need to get Paul. Excuse me. We really need to get Mike into the game here.
Yeah, the interesting thing, I'm actually glad. You never want. I don't want 7 maniacs and action players, but we've got a nice kind of mixture of players here.
Yeah.
Paul is a professional poker player, real tight, real solid, but he knows how to mix it up. He knows how to. He's aggressive. Keith also obviously is a tight player. Then you got Dimitri and Mike in there.
Mo's going to make it 200 to go here. He's got king, queen suited. And look at this. Paul's going to call with pocket 7s. That always has to raise flags, Dave, when a guy like Paul calls from early position in the blinds. And let's see if Dimitri comes in with ace 8 suited here.
Comes in? Of course he's going to come in.
He does. He makes the call. We've quickly got about a $650 pot going 3 ways.
And what 5 people paid you?
I haven't won any money in the game. I've only won my money.
Well, that's okay.
Here we go to the flop. Ace 10-3. Well, Dimitri's outflopped everyone. Now, Mo's got a gut shot to the jack here, Dave. You imagine that he might make the continuation bet. But again, as Dimitri has been all night, he's going to bet right in, and Mo makes the call. And let's see, he's got a gut shot to the jack and backdoor hearts. Is he calling here maybe to get 2 cards, Dave? Might Dimitri... Oh, not. Well, probably Dimitri's not going to slow down now.
Look, he does, though. Wait.
Look at this. Dimitri checks, and Mo moves all in. And Mo moves all in.
Oh.
And I can't imagine, against a good play. Look at this. Dimitri actually hasn't put his chips in yet. That's amazing.
Very ape-like.
I was saying, is Mo going to make a move? If Dimitri bets again, Mo's not going to try to pop Dimitri and get him off of an ace, is he?
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is one of the most disturbing hands Mo has played of the year, and that was one of the most disturbing images I've ever seen in my life.
Well, can you imagine if Mo got Dimitri to lay this hand down? That would be unbelievable. Let's see how much it is here.
Well, Mo would make this play with pocket 3s or pocket 10s, hoping Dimitri had an ace.
2360.
Dimitri got a lot of respect from Mo.
And usually when Mo puts chips in like this, he has them.
Well, he did it earlier, and he showed he actually had.
And Dimitri makes the call.
Yeah.
And Mo has outs to the jack.
And look at it. He's got 9% though. This is like a $6,000 pot, folks.
So let's see if they're going to run it more than once. This is a huge pot.
And Mo needs a jack, and only a jack, folks. He is in terrible shape. Oh, my. And we were just saying how Mo is one of the world-class one of the best no-limit hold'em players I've ever seen. Man. And it's one of those things when you move all in like that, it works every single time until it doesn't work.
They're only going to run it. They're only going to run it once here, Dave. Here we go to the river.
Oh my! I thought
and
it was
the river's a king. Wow.
When you show the hand, it means we are making a deal.
I mean, if Mo makes that play against me, Dave, I might lay that. Not that I would be in there with ace-8.
Well, he's either bluffing or he's got a set of 10s or set of 3s.
Yeah.
He's not.
I mean, maybe he might have played ace-king the same way. Maybe. Probably not, though.
Yeah, I mean.
Wow. Ace-king isn't quite as strong as,
I'm only going to point this out to our viewers because I think, and I want to ask Mo about this, but I do think he does this every once in a while, like once a month maybe.
Right.
Kind of.
Well, you were telling me about this earlier this afternoon,
yeah,
right?
I think there's he does this to kind of present an image that he wants everybody to think that he is this gambler.
You think that he takes he knowingly will sometimes take a short-term negative expected value move for long-term big positive expected value in terms of image. You think he sometimes even calls when he knows he's beat, if it's not that much.
I know he does that. That I know he does.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, he's not stupid. He knows moving all in with pocket 3s earlier or moving all in there with the king-queen, he knows that is long-term negative EV. That's obviously not a positive EV play, moving in $2,600 into an $800 pot when you only have king-high.
And the funny thing here, too, is that if he makes that move, like he did with, what was it, pocket 3s?
Yeah.
If he makes the move off the line with the bike table, he's going to show the cards. And, I mean, here he doesn't need to show it. I don't think he did because he knows Jonas is going to go back and watch it. It's kind of the same thing.
That's the value. I mean, it's not like... I mean,
the
one thing
where
that's
he did
interesting
show
is
the cards.
not only do these 8 players get to see his king-queen hearts, but our thousands of viewers also have seen him bluff now. And it's the image that I think he wants to portray. Now, I mean, I know Mo wins a lot of money in this game. And maybe he looks at a couple $1,000 investment here or a couple $1,000 investment into his image as a worthy investment. I don't think I could do that. But hey. But that's at least that's my 2 cents. That's what I'm trying to get into Mo's head. But I will ask him later and write something about it because I'm curious. Sean here's got pocket queens, and he raised it on the button. Mike calls, Dimitri calls.
That's one of my goals, Corey, actually.
The action is on Corey. And I think Corey called. And Alan actually folds. And we're going to go this 4 ways. The bet was $120. We got a $500 pot, folks. And the flop is Jack 8-6. Mike has got second pair. Dimitri's got absolutely nothing. Corey's got a pair of 9s. But Sean is still in the lead here with queens, and it gets checked to him, and he bets $500. He bets the pot. Pot is now $1,000, folks. And you wonder, is Corey going to get involved here with pocket 9s? There's only one overcard. And he's not going to get involved, and Sean takes it down. Takes down about a $1,000 pot. It's funny. Oftentimes, obviously, Bart and I, or Shirley, whoever's in the booth, but usually, obviously, Bart and I, are put in a situation where we've got to try to, when a play is somewhat unorthodox or a play just doesn't make any sense, we're put in a position where we've got to try to guess what these people are thinking. And oftentimes, obviously, we don't know. We can only guess. I have no idea what Bert was thinking with those pocket 3s. And in the case there with Mo, I mean, I'm only thinking that he's trying to, present an image as a gambler. I mean, I know if you play this game completely ABC tight and you never gamble, it's really hard to beat the game. I mean, beat it well at least. Most really successful players are more like Mike or more like Jonas or more like Mo. So I'll just throw that out there. Seat number 2 is going to make it $80. That's Sean again. He's going to make it $80 with 5-6 offsuit this time in the cutoff. He buys himself the button by doing that. And we're going to see this 5 ways. The pot is now $400. And look at that flop. Wow. I mean, he raises with 5-6 and he flops trips. And Mo has got bottom. He's got a pair of 3s here. Is Mo going to be in trouble here? I'm not sure how deep Mo is, though.
Well, he's going to make the bet. He's going to make 300 here.
He bets 300 into a $500 pot, $400 pot. Pot is now 700. And Sean was the pre-flop raiser with 5-6. And look at that flop. Nobody could possibly put you on a 6 here, could he?
He's gonna smooth call here. He's gonna make the smooth call.
Now the funny thing is, if Mo gets in the trouble of trying to represent a 6, he might get himself in a lot of trouble.
Turns a king. No, I mean I think the worst card.
Uh-oh.
Oh wow, Mo's gonna bet again.
Well, you know what I think? Sean is almost playing this hand like he has pocket 8s or pocket 9s.
Or 10s or jacks, and Mo figures, this is another scare card. I'm going to bet 500 here again. I was going to say the worst card for Mo would have been a 3.
Oh, definitely. There's no way Mo gets away from it.
Yeah.
But this is just, Mo is trying to represent pretty much Sean's hand. Remember, Sean was the pre-flop raiser and Mo called. Now, Mo might have limped in with, say, 5-6 suited, and now he's hit his hand.
Let me ask you this question: if you're Sean, do you just keep calling? He's going to raise here. I mean, would you just call Mo? Because you're not. He's going to raise him, and Mo's going to fold. Would you call here with the intention of, number one, you don't know even if your hand is good necessarily. It probably is, and just make Mo continue to bluff at it. Call here on the turn, call on the river.
Yeah, it's always an interesting way to play the hand.
Yeah.
If you're 100% sure your hand is the best hand, and you're not scared of a draw.
Right.
Hey, yeah, of course you can call in position, and induce a bluff. If a card might come off that might scare you, or your opponent might actually hit their draw, well, then you're going to be mad at yourself if they do that.
It's funny, too. I talked to Keith a lot. He was talking about how he likes to buy into a game like this for the minimum. But usually in a 5-10 game, maybe he's got like 10,000 on the table. He's got a lot of money. But in this game, he just wants to wait it out and accumulate chips by, say, cracking something big.
Yeah, I understand, and that's great. The problem in this game, though, is I think the minimum buy-in in this game really should be 2,000, because with Mike raising every single pot, you're basically going to put in like 10% of your stack.
Mike has raised it with jacks, and Jonas called with the blind with 8-9. Jonas checks, Mike bets 400. And you wonder again, if you're Jonas, are there better spots to take to make moves here against, he's got no draw and he's going to get away from it.
Yeah, he thinks about it and he throws it away. And that's one of the reasons Mike bets there. By betting that, you give your opponent a chance to make a move.
Now again, I commonly bring this up. Let's say for some reason, because actually the turn card was a 7. Let's say that Jonas had a straight draw there. He picked up a gut shot, Dave. And the turn would have been a 7. And he made a straight. Say he had some sort of combination of cards that made a straight. I, again, have never seen Mike lay down a hand like an overpair. Like if Jonas were to check raise Mike all in, I still think Mike would call.
Well, against Jonas, I think he probably would, because Jonas is capable of bluffing.
Right.
Against certain players, if Alan makes that move, I think Mike probably throws it away. If Keith makes that move, Mike might throw it away.
Might. Ace King here for Jonas. And he's in the straddle spot here, Dave. He's going to pop it up. Makes it 300. It's funny. I heard a little bit. I heard Mike say my name out there. I don't know exactly what he's saying.
Well, I was talking about his game and stuff. Yeah, we were just talking.
I think he doesn't think that I respect his game, which I do. Yeah. Come out and say I do. Jonas has hit top pair here.
I actually told him you did.
Yeah. He's going to bet 400. Just like I respect Barry Woods' game, but they kind of have similar, a leak, right? I mean, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I mean, I like Barry Woods' game. Yeah. I don't think Barry, and Barry will hate me for saying this. I just don't think, but I got to be honest, he is not in the same league as Mike. He's just not. Mike is a far superior player to Barry.
Right now, but if we were to ask this, say, 3-4 months ago.
8 months ago, I might have liked Barry's game better. I don't know. But right this second, Mike is the image that he portrays of this gambler, wild, crazy maniac.
It's kind of similar to kind of what Richie Rich was trying to do last night. And he actually talked with him after the show. Hopefully he's going to come on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's an image that people want to portray. You almost want to, you want everybody to think you're a maniac, but you're not a maniac.
Right.
And Mike, Mike is he basically walks that line as close as you possibly can.
Jonas is, Demetrius raised it up to 200 here with pocket 6s. Jonas calls it Queen 10 suited. Mike is in there with Queen 4. King 8 deuce here. Demetrius' hand is good right now with 6s. And he does not bet. Look at this. The turn card peels second pair. And they both check it again to Dimitri, and now it looks like he's going to bet. Jonas has the best hand with the turn card coming queen. $400 bet. Jonas calls, and now can Mike throw this hand away?
Yeah, I think he can. You know,
the funny thing, though,
I think Mike's in raise or fold situation here, actually.
Well, the funny thing, though, is that sometimes, you might overcall in that spot because you don't necessarily think that Jonas might not give him credit for a huge hand because he's calling Dimitri.
Oh, I mean, Jonas could have an 8 there, but Jonas could have 6s there. Dimitri could have nothing, and you could definitely overcall with queen 4, but I'd rather raise it up there.
Look at this. The river is a 3, and Dimitri looks like he's going to bet here, Dave, because I think he thinks he needs to bet. I mean, the pot is about
Are you actually venturing into Dimitri's
$1,500.
head, trying to figure out what he's thinking?
The pot's about $1,500. I mean, do you think that Jonas is going to call here with a weak second pair again?
He might.
Remember, Dimitri's just going to check, and he gives up. Jonas is going to take it down there with the queen 10.
Would Dimitri take that long if he had a real hand?
Well, remember, though, too, he did check the flop.
Yeah.
Got about a half an hour left in the show tonight. Again, you can watch this show and every show that we do on a 24-hour looping rerun that starts an hour after the show ends at night, and it goes to 5 p.m. the next day. You can also watch the entire week show on a rerun loop starting at Sunday at noon. You can watch every show that we've ever done in the past by signing up for the archives. Click on the archive banner, upper left-hand corner of your screen at liveatthebike.com. Check out the LA poker scene, home of the $500,000 free roll. Use the deposit code 5X. 500K gets you 5 free entries into stage 1 tournaments. Win one of those, you're in the free roll. $500,000 free roll.
$200,000 for first place, folks.
Jonas has got the same hand again here. Ace, ace 4. Wow, turns another ace. We're
Mo
hands
is
up.
rebought, by the way. He's got a lot more money in front of him now. He's got closer to 8,000 now in front of him, and I don't think you'll see him donking it up now.
River's a 5. And the king is going to be good here.
Yeah, Mo takes it
It's
down.
funny, Mo's telling me that him and Alan got drunk last night. I was like, Alan? Because I've never really seen Alan drink that much. And he said that Alan, when he drank it, opened up his game, he was playing like Mike. And that would really be a sight. And Mo said, sometimes you see Mo drinking, but if he does get to that point where he feels somewhat inebriated, he'll just gets up. I mean,
Well,
he's
that's what he
smart
told
about
me.
it,
He said he was up 7,000 last night.
Yeah.
And the game was still really, really good.
Yeah.
And he got up and left, and one of his friends said, "What are you doing?" The game was still, and he goes, "You know what? I'm a little drunk. I'm up 7,000.
Right.
I come back tomorrow."
Yeah. Casino's open 24/7, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pocket queens for Corey in seat 7 there. He's in a cutoff seat, and I'm sure he's going to raise it up.
Well, Jonas has got an ace-7 suited. Mike had limped in with queen 9.
Look at Jonas. Look how focused he is on
Yeah.
Corey's actions.
He's going to make it 150, and Jonas calls. And again,
Jonas-
I mean, if you're really advanced, Dave, we say don't call with suited aces for raises, but, Jonas is in another level.
Well, Jonas
Yeah.
is calling in position. He's not calling to hit an ace here, folks.
King
He's
Jack
calling
3.
He's calling to see if he can outplay his opponent in position.
Yeah.
With a king out there, he might be able to.
Look at him look at Corey. Corey's going to bet 300. Jonas
He's
is
not
not
gonna
going
get
to get involved. And Mike here, Mike's got a gut shot to a 10 and backdoor hearts, and he's going to make the call. Now, backdoor hearts are very unlikely because we know that Jonas had 2 hearts. And look at this. The turn is the 10 of hearts.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And now Corey's open-ended.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for Corey to get away from his hand now. The thing,
He takes a card, and the river's a 3. And now Mike is going to bet. He's going to bet 1,000 here. Now, Corey cannot beat the king.
I just don't see how Corey can get away from his hand here. He's checked the turn,
Yeah.
inducing this bluff. And that's, by the way, this hand exactly illustrates why I checked. Remember that flop 6, 7, 8, 9, 9?
Right.
Exactly why I checked the turn.
Yeah.
Because I know Mike will check. If he hits a hand,
And again,
looking to check
we
raise.
sometimes talk about controlling pot size by checking the turn in position, but you almost, and Corey folds, and it's a right fold, but you almost think that you should call there. Even though we can see he's beat, I think he should call if it plays out that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he looked at it and said, "You know what? There's nothing I can beat anymore. Maybe."
Let me ask you another question, too. Is Mike apt to come out and bet if the hand played out in that manner with, say, King 7 on the river? Would he do that? Would he come out and would he shoot for 1,000 there on the river with King 7?
King 7. What was? Well, I'm trying to think of the board again. What would that give him?
The top pair, just a king, which beats Corey's queens. And I think maybe Corey looked
No,
at it.
I don't think he would bet that.
You don't think he would? Okay.
I think
so you think
Mike
it's either a bet of a monster or a bluff?
It's
so.
2 pair or better.
Yeah.
2 pair or better or nothing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think if he has a naked king, no, he's just going to check it down and hope it gets checked down.
So that's why I think if you're Corey, you probably should call the river the way that went out, right?
Yeah, I don't know how Corey got away from it. I mean, it's a good laydown by him, but I don't know how he does.
Mike is going to raise it out of the straddle spot. He's got an ace. The funniest thing is that it always seems like Mike raises out of the straddle spot almost every time. He's been picking up at least ace-high hands on the straddle spot every time.
Well, he hits his ace this time.
And he checked it now, Dave.
He's in great shape.
Now, I don't quite understand the check here. It was ace-king-8, turns
Just
to
likes
9.
to mix up his game. Sometimes he'll bet it, sometimes he'll check it. He wants to be unpredictable.
And now Paul's going to come out and bet. He's open-ended. He's going to bet 400.
He wants you to have no idea where he's at.
And now Mike has put himself in a situation where a tight player has bet. He makes the call. And oftentimes, Dave, if Mo is in this spot with Dimitri, he might raise. And the river here is an 8.
Yeah, Dimitri actually picked up the club.
Yeah, he had clubs.
He called also, yeah. And this pot is quickly, I want to say $1,500.
And look at this. Paul is going to have to make a bluff at it if he wants to make the bet. Dimitri has missed. Mike has the best hand here. It would only be a chop. And Paul is going to move in, and he's going to bet $1,100 here, Dave, into about a $1,700 pot.
You got to realize how easy it is for Paul to have this hand. Remember, he checked the flop. Wouldn't he check an 8 and then bet maybe?
Well, yeah, but the other thing, too, is now the board paired. Oh, look at this. He gets Mike off the ace. Wouldn't Mike call, figuring that any ace is going to play here? Because he got a king out there with a paired board.
Yeah, but why would he put Paul on an ace necessarily? Why couldn't Paul have 8-9? Why couldn't Paul have Jack 8? I mean, remember, he's in the blind. He got a free ride.
Well, Mike did raise it out of the straddle spot.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did.
How much did he raise?
He made his standard raise of like 150 or
oh,
something
okay,
like that.
and he got called.
Yeah. So, again, I was a little...
I see what you mean. Okay.
I was wondering maybe if he wouldn't pull that move, Dave, because of the fact that it board
I was a little bit in the dark there. I'm sorry. Yeah. Look at that. $46,000 on the table, folks.
Let's take a look at how these players are doing, the differences. And Sean is up 2,000, Dimitri up 2,000, Jonas up $1,000, and Mo's the big loser.
How is the total minus 1,200? Todd?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Curious.
Jonas is raised here with queens, and he's going to take it. You know what I'm saying now, though?
I guess that's because some people have left the table with winning.
Do you know what I'm saying now about the paired board there at the end? I'm actually surprised. I mean, Mike folded the ace, but you think... And look at this. Dimitri's got 10 deuce suited.
He also couldn't beat... The board was ace, king, 8, 9, 8.
Yeah.
Problem is that when Paul calls you, I mean, it's a good chance Paul's got his king. It's $1,100.
Now, I'm not saying that I would necessarily made that move in Dimitri's spot because it's Paul. And, I think that's one of the first kind of bluffs we've seen by Paul. But a lot of times, if you pick up the draw that Dimitri had and you've got a bet and a call, you can really pop it up there on the turn.
Yeah, I mean, almost anybody could except Dimitri, obviously, because Dimitri doesn't have that image.
Right.
But if you're a tight player, you definitely can. Paul, that's one of the reasons why Paul is a successful professional poker player here, is because he will pick his spots. He'll make maybe one move every night. And that was his move, and he picks up a big pot that way.
Five-way action here. Limped around. Queen 3-3 here. Turn is an 8.
60.
And Mike is going to bet 60 here.
He's got a 9-5, 10-5.
Yeah, he's got a club draw. We don't have it up there. It's 10-5 of clubs. And here we go to the river, and the river is a 4. Jonas called with a spade draw. Or excuse me, no, Jonas called
with nothing.
He had a gut shot to the 9, and now he's going to come out and bet.
Yeah.
Mo's in the hand with ace-6. Jonas bets 320 here, and Mike totally missed. And we're looking at Jack-10, and Mike here is going to make the check raise. Mike makes a check raise here. Mo is out of the hand, and Jonas folds. Unbelievable. Mike makes a check raise bluff here on the river. And it's actually Mike that wins the hand because Jonas folds. Jonas throws a bet out knowing that he probably couldn't win the hand that showdown. And Mike check raise bluffs him.
Well, he gets Allen out of the hands. Allen had the 8. Wow. Wow, that's poker, folks. You've got a bluff on the river and then a re-bluff raise. Check raise on the river. And the funny thing is, if you're Jonas, you might actually put Mike on a bluff, but how do you call him with Jack high?
Pocket queens here for Mike on the button. And this is Mike's image. Jonas has got ace-10. He might call, and Mo's got a suited ace. He might call. You never know.
I want to get back to that ace-3 hand that Mike that Paul actually bluffed him out in a second after this hand.
Jonas makes the call, and let's see if Mo's going to come in between. So 2 players in with kind of weak aces, and Mike's got a real hand here. Here we go, 3 ways. Uh-oh, is Jonas going to get in trouble here, Dave? He's got ace-10, and Mike's got the overpair.
Mo's got second pair.
And Mike is going to bet. This is going to be interesting. He's going to bet 500 here. Let's see how Jonas plays it. He makes the call.
And the reason...
And Mo overcalls.
Well, Mike's image gives him this action.
Can you imagine if an ace were to come here? Wow, the turn's a jack. 2 players would have 2 pair. And Mike is going to bet again. It's a $2,500 pot.
Mike has bet, what, 1,500?
He's got 1,900. Well, a little under the size of the pot, Dave. We're getting big right now.
Wow, this pot is $4,400,
Yep.
folks. 19 to call.
It's the guy part.
And I got to tell you, I love the way Mike is playing this hand in particular. He's playing it hard. He's playing it strong.
This is a really great hand now. Now, obviously, Mo can easily get away from the hand. Now, the issue for here is Jonas.
And you see how Mike is picking his spots. Last hand, he does a check-raise bluff against Jonas and takes it down.
Yeah.
This hand, he's playing it hard against Mike and against Jonas and Mo. The hand before that, he didn't really want to pay off a tight player like Paul, although he had the win.
And Jonas gets rid of it. Now it's back over to Mo. Oh, man. And Mo is going to make the call. He makes the call, Dave, and this pot is quickly ballooned to over $6,000. Mo needs an ace or a 7 here. Here we go to the river. And the river's a 5. Is Mike going to bet again? The pot's big enough. He checks it down. He's going to take it down $6,400 with queens. Unbelievable. Wow.
I'm surprised he checked it down.
Really?
Yeah, I am. I think if if Mo has 8-9 or Jack 10 there or a set, I think Mo raises the turn.
Yeah.
You don't? You think Mo just calls with Jack 10 or 8-9? Wow, that was. We're talking. That pot was $6,300.
Yeah, that's
that Mike took down.
amazing.
And that's what we talk about. We always talk about picking your spots.
I wonder, too, save face for Jonas there. He looks like a genius, but he has Mo behind him, which might have made it a little easier to release the ace-10.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And it's also Jonas picking spots. That's what you can do in a cash game. You don't have to win right when you sit down. The blinds are only 10-20. You can kind of bide your time and pick your spots.
Jack deuce 5 here with a couple hearts. Dimitri's going to come out and he's going to bet. Looks like 100. Queen 5, middle pair on the button. Looks like it's going to take it down.
Yeah. And I just want to update everybody for the weekend tournaments. We obviously have our 2006 Winning of the Green going on right now. And tonight was Omaha Low. Tomorrow night is a $100,000 guaranteed tournament. Starts at 4:15 p.m. It is a $200 multi-rebuy tournament, folks. No limit hold'em. Come on down tomorrow at 4:15. And our own Ronnie is going to be playing. So he's probably got first place locked up. But hey, you can come on down and fight for second. He might even chop it with you. Sunday now, we've got a no limit hold'em tournament, Extra Sports $25,000 getaway tournament. It's a $300 buy-in tournament, no limit hold'em again, and that starts at 4:15. And there's also, pretty exciting here, if you play Mexican poker, there's a 12 noon tournament tomorrow, Limit Mexican Poker, $100 buy-in starting at noon tomorrow. I'm sorry, Sunday, March 5th.
Looks like we get a little raise here by Sean. We haven't heard from him. He's got a gap suited connector here. 7-5 suited. And look at Keith. Keith makes the call here with Jack Deuce, Dave. It's the first hand we've seen him play. Keith has got Jack Deuce off suit. And it gets checked over to Corey, and Corey bets 200 here with top pair, King 10.
200. Small white? Is it me? Yes, sir. Corey bet?
I have a system here. Every time you touch the computer, you mess my system up.
I'm so sorry.
I had this email up. I was ready to read it.
I'm sorry. Hey, it's all about Bart, man. It's Bart's world. We just try to live in it.
Dimitri makes the call here with Jack 4. The turn's a 10. Now Corey has 2 pair.
It's nice, huh? Having a mom who can play some good poker. Sit down and play with your mom. That's nice.
I don't think Dimitri, you don't think he's going to continue on? No, he's going to continue on. Interesting to see Keith play Jack Deuce off suit there, Dave.
Yeah. Very strange.
I did see an email, and I can't see it now because it's not up, but it was by a guy named Richard French saying that I respect your commentating skills a lot, but could we ever get Jonas or Mo in the booth to do some commentating one time? I think that's a possibility if they want.
Yeah, I'd love to get Jonas. Mo, unfortunately, he is a wealth of wisdom.
Yeah,
but
there's a little language barrier problem. I think it would be a little bit difficult to hear audio-wise.
But we are talking about doing a new feature for Live at the Bike.
Yeah.
We're talking about possibly doing a poker roundtable.
Yeah.
Where you and I, or one of us, will be sitting down with, say, 3 or 4 poker players that we normally see on the show, and we're going to discuss poker. And you can check that out at liveatthebike.com. It's not there yet, but it will be there in the coming weeks, folks.
So thank you for that email, Rich French. Email here from Alan Smith. David is by far the better player. Not even a contest. I love how you can tell from one night of play.
Not even one night. I mean, I was only in the game for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. Corey here is going to make a little bit of a re-raise with pocket tens. Makes it 200 more.
I'm really surprised you folded. I'm really surprised you folded this way. I'm glad I can surprise you once in a while.
So we had a raise here by Sean. Dimitri called in between, and Corey re-raised, and now Sean has made the call with sevens.
Great email here from Dave Jones. I'm going to read it, actually. He says, want to know why Mo... He says, stop making up excuses for Mo. And it's a fair assessment. Maybe I am making excuses for Mo. I don't know. But he says, want to know why Mo bluffed at the ace-ace board? He thought the other guy didn't have an ace. Pretty simple.
Yeah, you can't imagine that Mo thinks he's going to get somebody off of a weak ace, or get Dimitri off of a weak ace.
No, definitely not. Obviously, he didn't think he had an ace.
Well, Dimitri's in there, and we're going to see this pot $800, 3 ways. Corey, the pre-flop re-raiser. Wow, and the flop comes 6, 8, 9. Corey's got an overpair with the gut shot, and Sean's got a pair, and he's open-ended with sevens.
Wow. Now, the interesting thing is Sean's hand is not quite as strong, and you see the percentages are a little down there because his set is no good right now. It's hard for him to catch a straight because the tens are being occupied, and you see one of the fives is dead.
Yeah, his hand is kind of dead and all over the place here.
Well, seven's no good. I mean, he's only got 3 5s and 2 sevens. He only has 5 outs.
Corey's going to bet 500 here.
And you talk about your rule of thumb, right? On the flop with 5 outs, multiply it by 4, and it's about 20%.
The funniest thing right here, Dave, is this is an interesting hand. I want to keep the board up here. I got into a hand here a couple days ago when I had pocket tens. I was out of position. I had raised it pre-flop, and this flop came out, and Hav had made a smooth call. If you've got a solid player in position who made a pre-flop smooth call, and you bet with tens in this specific spot and get called, I think you're in a world of trouble. Because you take a look at the hands that, and look at the 7, Sean, I think Dimitri might have, did Dimitri fold out of turn?
No, Sean called, or Sean raised, I think.
Actually, Sean's going to raise.
The problem is the board is so draw heavy.
Yeah.
It's very easy to put your opponent on 8-7 or 6-7 there also.
And Sean is going to raise. He's going to make it 2,500. And what I mean by this, too, is that if you have tens here, you can't beat. Remember, as you progress in no limit, people could play overpairs cagey. Sean could have a higher overpair. You could have jacks or queens that you can't beat.
Definitely.
You can't beat nines. You can't beat eights. If he has sevens, he's got a ton of outs.
Remember, he limped in.
Right.
Very easy for him to have limped in.
And now in this
jacks.
case, he has sevens, and a guy might make this move with sevens, and Corey gets away from it.
Hey, and that's a great play there.
Yeah.
Sean makes the play. He was in he actually had by far the worst of it there. We pointed that out.
Yeah.
But the fold equity, obviously, by raising, and he takes it down.
Wow, the funny thing, Dave, I looked at the river, the flop,
Turn the river?
cards. Turn was an 8, and the river was a 10.
Oh my!
Corey would have filled up on the river, and Sean would have made it straight. That would have been unbelievable. I mean, a paired board. But,
Yeah, we really would have had fireworks there.
But again, if you take any heat with that type of flop with the tens, remember, the more and more you think about it, the more and more you've got to look at how high your overpair is, because there's just that many more overpairs that can beat you.
I'd be more scared if somebody raised me, because you've got to realize that unless they have a monster, I mean, I'm talking about flop straight, if they have an overpair, they're scared of the board too, and they're not going to slow play it. You know what I mean? So if you bet that board with tens, and let's say a player like Hav calls you, well, Hav doesn't have jacks.
Right.
He's not going to call you with jacks. He's going to raise you with jacks.
Raise 300 more.
We got a raise here by Mo. He's going to make it 300 more. He's going to re-raise out of the big blind, pocket queens, and Alan's going to call with ace 10 of hearts. Corey gets away from king queen suited easily. Wow, what a flop for Allen. He's got a straight draw to the nuts with the queen, and he's got the nut flush.
Monster flop, but right now he's just not in the best hand here. Mo is the best hand.
And Mo's going to bet 500 here. Now we can see that the queen of hearts is in Mo's hand, and Allen's going to call. Now if Allen were to raise.
And this is almost 50-50, folks.
Oh, the turn is a king of hearts, and now Allen has a royal flush. Right?
No.
Oh, no, he doesn't. He's missing the queen of
The
hearts.
funny thing is that Mo actually has this straight, open-ended royal flush draw.
That's right.
But he can't get it because Allen's got the cards.
And it gets checked over, and Allen's going to bet. He bets, it looks like, 1,200 here, Dave.
And Mo can catch. Now, you see, normally Mo is only a 5% favorite there. But Mo can actually catch a king or a queen on the river.
Yep. And his heart draw is no good because Allen has hearts right now.
Exactly. And Mo might be looking at it going, well, wait a second, I'm open-ended. Actually,
oh, my goodness, and Mo moves all in, and Allen instantly calls. Allen instantly calls. The funny thing here is what I was going to say was with the ace-10 of hearts, if you were really deep and you took a bunch of heat from a guy, could you think you're possibly beat? They run it one time, a blank comes, and Allen takes it down with a nut flush. The reason why I ask you that, Dave, is you've got the ace-10 of hearts there.
How deep is Allen? I want to say Allen's got probably close to $2,500, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Allen, Dave, if you've got ace-10 of hearts there, and the board pairs to give you your flush, and you're deep stacked, it's always talking about hypothetical, and you bet and the guy check raises you all in for a lot of money. Could you ever lay down the nut flush there with that board because of the possibility of a full house and how that hits?
You could.
Yeah.
Not tonight against Mo, though.
No.
Not the way Mo's playing right now. Mo is just, he's giving, I mean, from what it seems like, way more action than you want to give.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, like I said before, maybe Mo thinks, giving away $5,000-$6,000 is a worthy investment into his image. I don't know. Seems crazy tonight, though.
You want to make a deal? You make a deal. You don't want to make a deal? Before you see.
It's totally legitimate. Yeah, but before you see, when you open the car, why you force me saying one or two? Why not three? There is an option for three. Why you don't want to give that option?
No, I just want to know if you want to make a deal.
I think someone said that they have a tell on you, Tuckman.
Yeah, I'm going to read it. I'm curious. What's my tell?
When you were with me, why would you?
He said,
I'm dying to hear. I'm going to obviously go back and watch the first hour of the show. But I'm curious.
240.
Was there a Bartgasm when I moved all in with the eights?
Neither one of them is any more right than the other.
Any reaction?
Modified Bartgasm.
Did you say?
Yeah, I faked it, Dave. I faked it.
Oh, jeez. Everybody's always faking it with me. It's terrible. Story of my life. Oh, man. I can't even get a real Bartgasm.
We got time for a couple more hands here. I can't wait to get out there and play some Omaha, Dave. I love playing live Omaha.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go home.
Yeah?
Yeah. Up a couple $1,000.
You got to figure out why your wife is calling you during the show.
Yeah, I know. Maybe she saw. Maybe she knows.
I want you to think of something.
Is Mike leaving?
I don't know if he's leaving or reloading.
He's putting his money in his...
Are you going to be there?
Well, I'm not sure, but see you guys usually means he's going.
He was about even for the night, wasn't he? That's the game I'm going to get in there over there, Dave. On to the left there. $120 bet here by Mo.
Surprised Mike is leaving.
They look upset, right?
He's going to take it down. Dimitri's not going to play deuce 10. What?
Wow. We got a chip count here soon enough. We'll see Mo is probably a big loser for the night, isn't he?
Hey, look at how many hands has Jonas played tonight? Not many.
No, he's just
Not
picking
many.
his spots.
Yeah.
Made a big call against Dimitri. I don't think he's actually up that much though.
Ace-Jack offsuit here for Mo in seat 1. And Mo's going to pop it to 200 here. Dimitri's got a suited ace-4 in the small blind. He's probably going to play. And Paul is not going to get involved here on the button.
Yeah.
Paul's played one hand and he bluffed, and he took it down.
my hand at that time, it doesn't make any sense.
So we're going to do one last chip count, Dave, here soon
Well,
enough.
that'll be interesting.
And we can see where everybody stands.
If I can't improve, it makes no sense.
So, anyways, to finish off the show, what I was saying, all right,
Here we
let's
go.
take a look at the last chip count here.
$45,000 on the table, folks.
So let's see how these players did tonight. Sean up 2,800, Mike up 2,000, Mo down 9,000.
Wow.
That's probably the biggest
Huge
session that
and
we've
you
seen him
obviously,
lose.
you see $5,100 in profit has been taken off the table.
Right.
Between Ruben, myself. Bert was a big loser as well, but Ruben
Yeah.
was a big winner.
Dimitri's raised here with pocket fours. What I was going to say is the reason why I'm going to play on Sunday, Dave, is because Sunday's a $300 tournament with an optional rebuy. So in essence, for $600, you get 2,000 chips. Dimitri's got a set of fours here, and he checked it. He raised it from the button. It went check, check here. Alan's got threes. The turn here is an 8. And now Dimitri's going to bet.
And Allen obviously was drawing dead there on the turn.
And I think that,
You see the check mark.
yeah, it's a $60 bet here. And is Alan going to check raise? Alan check raises. He thinks he senses weakness.
Who is this guy? Is this even...
Yeah.
What is he doing?
And Dimitri
Stop.
calls.
Oh, my.
And actually, you know what? Maybe Alan didn't check raise. I don't know if he check raised. Maybe he
Oh,
just
my
called.
God.
I bet.
The river's an ace. Alan
Doesn't he
checks.
know he's on the internet?
He's going to bet here. It's like 300, Dave.
Yeah.
So again, what I'm saying is that tomorrow's 200 multi-rebuys, $200 per pop for 500 chips, whereas Sunday is, I believe, 300 for 1,000 chips.
Yeah, I might play. We'll see if I can get out of the Oscars.
All right, this is going to be the last hand of the night. Thanks everybody for joining us again this week. Another week down in the annals of history.
Yes, exactly. This has definitely been an anal week. But we promise next week will not be. I'm dying for somebody to email me. Let me know what my tell is. I'll have to go check out the archives.
Well, Corey's going to complete, and Joan is here in the big blind is going to check. Ace-3 and Ace-5 here. King 10-7, couple
This is
spades.
probably going to get, well, it goes check. Jonas is automatically going to bet that and he takes it down.
Shows the ace. Yep. And that's going to do it for us tonight.
That's it, huh?
Again, thank you for joining us.
I wanted to show them on
Always watch the show. You can watch.
looking for a husband.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God, I didn't even know it was on TV. Jeez.
Shut it off. We're done. Shut it off.
Yes.
It's over.
We're done.
Shut it off.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.